Good afternoon and welcome to our continuing coverage of the Ladies Ontario Provincial Curling Championships, brought to you by Curl On and Title Sports Live. This afternoon we'll have live coverage of our ladies' ninth draw of this 65th Ontario Provincial Championship. The winner of this event earns the right to represent Ontario at the Scotties in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, February 15th through the 23rd. My name is Ian Tetley, and I'm joined by my co-host Barb Williamson. And this is our second draw of three today, Barb. Back tonight at 8 p.m. with
15.
Pat Ferris versus Scott McDonald, which could have some implications with respect to our final standings on the men's side.
Yeah, this is the last of the ladies in the round robin. There are still some playoff spots up for grabs here. I think we have pretty much 4 teams looking for 3 spots, so should be an exciting afternoon.
In our feature game this afternoon, we will have Justin Murphy of the Mississauga Golf and Country Club up against Rachel Homan from the Ottawa Curling Club. And you are seeing a live shot of Rachel Homan throwing her last shot draw to see who will get the hammer in this first end. The ice has been running about 15 seconds from hog to hog.
Yeah, a little more. Keep it out there. Keep it clean. Line's good. Keep it clean on it. Yep.
With 8
Line's
different
fine.
draws
Super
here this
team.
week, every member of the team has to throw at least one.
Easy. Looks all there.
Most of the balance goes to the skip.
Keep it clean. Yep. T-line. Just T-line. Don't push this one.
Picking up the curl there.
She looks really close to this button.
Very nice.
And that's a great shot by Rachel Homan. Now we'll show you the draw of Justin Murphy that happened about 10 minutes ago. Each team throwing at the completion of their practice. And they're scrubbing, working it hard, trying to get it to the button. She will get full 4-foot, but by virtue of that, Rachel Homan will have the hammer in the first end of this game. Well, Barb, we've had an exciting week. This is our last ladies' draw of the week of the round-robin play. After this, the top 3 teams will go on to the playoffs tomorrow.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the standings quickly. Alone on top is Rachel Homan at 7-0, followed closely by Danielle Inglis at 6-1. The next 2 teams are tied at 5-2, so teams Duncan and Murphy really looking for a playoff spot here. Team Frowder at 3-4, Team Ballston at 2-5, Team Hastings at 2-6, and rounding out the top, the 9 teams, Harrison and Brandwood at 1-6. So Team Hastings have the bye this afternoon. They've already completed all of their 8 round robin games.
It's just interesting in that those standings, Barb, is that the top 4 teams right now all play each other, so we could have a shake-up there. Obviously, Rachel Homan is assured top spot right now, I believe. Actually, no, this would be a playoff for the top spot.
Yeah.
So these 2 teams have only met once in the last 3 years, with actually Murphy winning that game.
All right, so let's meet the teams. Team Homan have at lead Lisa Weigel. Their second is Joanne Courtney. Throwing third is Emma Miskew. And their skip is Rachel Homan from the Ottawa Curling Club.
And Team Murphy, lead is Grace Holyoke. Second is Stephanie Matheson. Third is Janet Murphy. And the skip is Justin Murphy.
So our other games on top here.
So they have just awarded the Shorty Jenkins Sportsman Award, and Danielle Inglis has taken that. And that is a vote amongst all the teams as to the person that best represents the sportsmanship and basically all the principles of what Shorty was all about. So I think everybody here is absolutely thrilled for Danielle.
So let's just quickly go over the other 3 games that are on tap for us here this afternoon. We have Team Harrison taking on Team Froud over on the first outside sheet. Our game is on sheet B. We mentioned Team Murphy taking on Team Homan. On sheet C, we have Team Brandwood taking on Team Ballston. And over on sheet D, we have Team Inglis and Team Duncan. As Ian mentioned, 2 of these games are among the top 4 seeded team in the standings right now. So win or lose, there's going to be some impacts here.
I was mistaken earlier. Rachel Homan is assured the bye to the final right now, because even if she loses this game, she did beat Danielle Inglis.
Yes.
So for Murphy, this is the hunt to stay alive, to be in that possibly that 3rd spot, or even a tiebreaker, the way things could work out. Danielle Inglis obviously plays Holly Duncan, Inglis being 6-1 and Duncan being at 5-2. So it's going to be some interesting sheets that we're going to be following tonight, along with our feature sheet here. Obviously, Homan versus Murphy.
Yeah, the Team Homan have been the club. They're unbeaten this week. They've played really solid, but I have to say they have had some close games, Ian.
Well, there's been some teams have had opportunities against them. Let's put it that way. And we know that this specific sheet probably curls a foot more than in the other sheets, and consequently, there's more angles available to the guys, and it's tricky though. So it's whether these 2 teams can actually navigate this sheet and sort of pick up on all the nuances that are involved.
We had some bonus coverage this afternoon of the Epping McDonald game, and we observed just from watching just a few ends that our sheet does indeed have a lot more curl on both turns going into the center. So it's going to be a challenge. Now, Team Homan have played on this sheet once earlier in the week. Team Murphy have not. So, but I have to say, and we've observed this as well, the sheet has changed a lot since the week's gone on.
Well, both these teams have. Murphy team has 47 games under their belt this year with a 31-16 record. Rachel Homan has 50 games under her belt, and she's 35-15. So, not much different. Justin Murphy actually probably playing more of the local scene here rather than the slams. But Grace Holyoke here will lead us off for the Murphy team.
Interestingly enough, these 2 teams were number 1 and number 2 in CTRS points in Ontario.
So this is a massive feature match for us this afternoon. And Grace is trying to... She will slip into the rings here, giving Lisa Weigel the little hit and stay, preferably out of the ring, so you're trying to keep it in the free guard zone.
Whoa. Whoa, if you're heavy. It's pretty good. Good, real good.
It looked like she hit almost all of that, and she still rolled.
Well, since it's not in the free guard zone, Justin is not going to take any chances.
Good start for Grace.
Yeah.
Grace, the 22-year-old, attending George Brown College in Nutrition.
Normal. Clean.
Lisa Weigel here, just gonna remove stones here. Everybody's kind of looking for a little half shot or something to possibly sort of get back on track.
Good.
I think Rachel Homan is always a patient team. They're more than willing to blank the first end of play. They kind of have a preponderance to want to score in the even ends.
Well, and that's especially important in the 8-end games. I find it's maybe not as important in a 10-end game.
No, correct.
Up normal. This will come up first down the path.
So far this week, in 32 ladies games completed, the team with the hammer has won 62.5% of the games. And ironically, the men's stat is identical as well.
Wow. And on our sheet, I know you have that.
On our sheet, actually, each color has won 8 times.
So not much of an advantage for color on this sheet.
No.
Is there any other sheet that the color has dominated?
No, they're all pretty equal.
Wow.
Because then maybe late in the game we won't have to, we can wait for it.
So hammer is the big deciding factor in those stats.
Good recovery there.
Stephanie Matheson making the takeout there. Joanne Courtney here, the new mom.
Normal. Lisa. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, this is a nice spot. It does come up at the end.
9.
It looks like we'll have a pretty open end here, which Rachel wanted to end in a blank if we continue to exchange hits like this.
Well, I think it was a number of years ago. I remember this stat in one particular season where Rachel had blanked. I think out of 30 games, she had blanked the first end 29 times, and I think she was 29-1 or something.
Well, they seem to be hitting their stride this week. They haven't had the best season so far this year. They did win the Canada Cup, but making adjustments, traveling with babies now and nannies. Can't be easy.
You know, it's ironic how she has been dominant in the Grand Slams in the past, and this year they have not qualified in any of the 4 slams so far.
Good.
But they sure turned it on for the Canada Cup.
Yeah, they've won 2 other. They've won the Colonial Square Ladies Classic in Saskatoon as well. So definitely not a bad season. Like, they're probably short of their standards. They've slipped to 7th on the CTRS.
No. Whoa. Lisa. Gotta go. Hard.
These 2 teams were the top 2 teams from the CTRS to qualify for this event. Justin Murphy being number 30 on the list, and Megan Balson being 31.
We're just taking the same as your
So she was the 3rd team to qualify.
Yes. Yeah.
So they've moved it around a bit on the sheet here, and they're going to get a chance to see some different draw paths because, of course, the draw for hammer is towards the home end. So they really haven't seen much coming this way, so it's a good chance to get to read the ice on a draw coming this way. We know what it does.
Starting to curl now. It's going to cross center line. It's going through some new stuff.
I'd rather, if I could, try and have something that's similar.
14-2. Wow.
Stay there, normal.
Yeah, so that curled.
Yeah.
No.
She took ice
She didn't
in the 12-foot, not as far out as she's going to have to go.
Yeah. Okay.
So in the week-long draw to the button, which they use to tabulate the last shot draw, and for tiebreakers if they ever need to break ties. Team Homan was the closest after the week-long, with her average being 14.5 centimeters.
Yep, take it out, take it over.
Which is essentially half a foot for us old-timers.
For in 8 games.
Yes.
Total.
Yes.
The total or the average?
Average. Second was the Holly Duncan
9?
team.
Yeah, try to cross
The irony of it is that Megan Balson's team was third, and I don't think they won a hammer all week.
Wow. Somebody was always closer.
Unless she won her first one here. But looks like she did.
Whoa! Whoa! Clean, clean.
Yeah. Same room?
Good
Yeah.
job.
Good one. Good deal. Yeah, just a little bit.
So she's 1 for 8 for Megan Balson, and she was ended up being third on the list.
More, yeah.
So everybody,
Everybody was out to outdraw her.
exactly.
Just straight through.
15.
Rachel Homan just looking to blank this end here now.
Yep. Clean. Clean. Yep. Yes. Hard. Keep it there. Clean.
And that's a pure strike by Rachel Homan to blank this opening end. This the last round robin play for the ladies for the week.
See you later. Stop.
Okay.
So 5 off is straight.
Yeah, good try.
Rachel assured a spot in Saturday night's final.
See anything different? Okay. Let's make them work. Nope.
And her opposition is TBD.
Yes.
Just checking. I just said, are we going?
I know Janet Murphy would like a little make amends for losing the final in 2017 when she played with Jacqueline Harrison. Grace
Line's
Holyoke looking to replace the center guard here in to open up the second end.
You're gonna over curl
Yeah, so
center.
it all started with Grace slipping into the rings with her first rock
Just a 2.
in the first end. So we'll see what happens here.
Well, from what I've seen, I know that
Good, good.
Justin is not scared to mix it up with these teams. Like I think they would prefer that type of game. I know Janet herself is not a big hitter, especially with any big weights or anything like that. She's a touch player. Lisa Weigel here with her opening stone of the second end.
It's really light. It's a 1. Looks really light.
This is a fresh path here. Throwing
Switch and go.
somewhat down the center and curling into the wings.
Keep it going, Joe. Yep. Hard.
We've mentioned this a few times that
Hog to get over.
you know they don't break this path down at all in practice. So it's always just like coming out here fresh. That is a long guard.
Well, and it cuts off one half of the sheet because they can't really get in behind.
Definitely last.
Tough getting her behind the yellow stone on that outturn side now.
Curl first. No, you're good. You're good.
Right to there.
Well, you don't have to curl it.
Okay, Grace.
Nice, Grace.
While Grace sort of plugging up the middle here even more. Lisa Weigel's going to have to go way wide here on the outturn side.
Yeah.
Try to wrap her draw behind.
A little wider than we broke down.
So Emma just reminding her that they haven't been out this wide because it's not the path that they use for the draw to the button.
7, 8. Okay, you're good. Still got it going. 9.
Lisa, the 34-year-old from Ottawa.
Completely open. It's almost through. Stopping now, but it's still deep.
So they, she tried to make that adjustment. It's back 4, buried.
Well, that's going to give Just in the opportunity now to
14-5. Oh, shit.
the opportunity to come down and freeze to that.
Hey, sweet.
You know, and it won't take much to break this path in. I think it'll be up to speed very, very quickly.
Stephanie Matheson,
Good. Lots of line. Line's good.
the 35-year-old from Dundas, Ontario.
Line only right now. Room.
This is her 8th
Curl
provincials.
Really curling now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yep, straight.
14.
Yeah, go.
Straight.
Okay, whoa, 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 Grace,
Whoa.
whoa, 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 Grace. Whoa.
Atta girl.
And that's a perfect throw.
Very nice.
Call here is for back 8, back 12, just to try and unlock
I
that
think so.
back blue rock.
Yep.
Okay.
Joanne Courtney now going to take her shot at getting it in there.
Clean, yep. Hard him.
She looks like she's got a very, really aggressive weight.
No, Lisa.
It's not bumping very hard now.
Still a great stone, but looks like Murphy is shot.
What about an intern around
We can
the other
probably still get to the inside. Yeah. Top 4.
way? Yes.
They're going to pick another spot on the ice here. They're already shot over there.
Well, you almost want to cut that side off, though. And I think she should cut that side off, because if Rachel goes to the intern side, you just may show it to her here. I know they did throw this in practice,
Line's good.
and
Line's
so they should
good.
know the ice and the weight.
Gotta go.
Problem is, you come around that guard, you may just
Go
come right
ahead.
out into the open.
Line's good. Just starting to curl now.
Yep.
Line's great.
But it will finish.
We're just 4. 14-4.
Go.
Bite the forefoot.
Oh, okay, it's still moving.
Going to over curl though. Take
this
it much
is-
farther.
This is what I'd be concerned about right
Nice
here, is that now it may be a routine double here, and Homan will have really good position.
Really nice stuff.
Just hit and roll. Move
Yeah.
the 5 a little that way and sit right there. We get them both ways.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate. The sweepers called out that it was only a 4,
Probably
so
need board to
just
control.
Justin
I
had
don't
them
know if 4
sweeping it
works,
hard.
Like I think we'll nose it. Well, this is
Yeah. Go,
Yeah.
go,
Okay.
4.
control.
Might be an easier shot with the intern, actually.
I don't mind down normal either. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Yeah.
So being that this spot is probably still a little fresher than the rest, this could curl up to the nose and then give Murphy the opportunity to get back in there.
Whoa, whoa. Clean. Close. Yep. Hard.
Well, she's got a good-looking shot
Whoa,
coming
whoa,
here.
Whoa. Really good.
Just what Rachel called. Now it's getting a little scary for yellow.
Well, fortunately, they don't have any angles right now. And actually, I think she could almost play down, almost play the identical shot and try to get all the way to the back. And you're actually,
get
you're looking
there.
3 shots away, though. You know, if you get to the back of the button there, her rock is now kind of in the way.
Yep.
Okay, so Steph. Okay.
But it wouldn't take much of a tap for Rachel to sit 2, though.
Well, she's going to have to navigate the port, for one.
I was thinking on the outturn.
Line's nice.
No, but if
Room then.
her challenge is that if she
Line's
gets this
good.
around all the way around to the button, Rachel may try to come
Oh,
down and
yeah,
through the port.
Depending on this
Line's
where this
good.
one
Yeah.
stops for sure, yeah.
Line's good.
The line's much better on this one. It's
She's way
wider.
out there. She's a little hot, I think.
13-9.
Yeah. She's going to be deep.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, you're still
Line's
off.
good.
You're there, you're there, you're there, you're there, you're there, you're there. Okay. Okay.
You don't really want to keep that there.
You should just chisel that in there. If she hits the outside of it.
You okay with that?
Well, it's definitely there. Yes, she can get that in there for second shot. You know, much, but where's your shooter going to go? That's always the challenge.
Another back line, wait.
Two back 12.
You really want your shooter to roll away here as much as possible, right?
Emma Miskew, the
Beat it! Yep.
graphic artist for Gold Line.
Hard. Hard. All the way. Clean. Yep. Hard. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Yep. Go for weight.
Coming in really nicely here. Hard to tell if they're sitting two or not.
Do you ever think you can get to the 4 and tap it into here?
Is there any benefit to coming down and freezing jars?
Sure. Yeah?
Okay.
Right back to it.
Yeah.
That's a good girl, Jess. Listen to your mother.
Well, it's a good call.
The line is good.
Well, she doesn't even have to be frozen. Like, I think she can get it in there and
Both four
and
is
make,
good.
yeah. Well, I think even if you could get it a little hidden
Line's
behind Rachel's there on the top of the forefoot.
Close for line. Yeah,
Line's
for line.
good.
Room. Line's good.
Really
Straight
curling.
first. Yep, straight, hard. Hard. 14-7. Yep, hard. I want it all
God,
the way
just
back here,
keep
but-
carving this thing.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Now, if Rachel makes this shot,
Sorry, guys.
they could be in a lot of trouble.
Can you hit it just a hair high? Yep.
It's almost the same
Same
shot
way,
she just
go.
threw.
Yeah, Joanne threw
Down
through this
normal,
port.
Would you rather here?
Made a real nice shot.
I like down normal. Stay close.
Okay.
There's a good shot of it. Trying to nose this and possibly double off the Murphy stones.
Gotta go, Elise. Gotta go.
She looked like she backed this a bit. Look, she's
Hard, Elise.
carving
Hard.
this up.
Oh, wow. Just touched her own first, but it had enough steam to.
Yeah. I think that's as good as I could do.
Probably 9.
9? Okay.
What did we just get on those? 9.5. I'm so glad we got rid of that 5.
Just trying to
Just hair high, yeah.
Just a little light.
9.5?
Yeah. 9.
9.
Oh, I did it.
Wow, that's a tight port now for Justin to navigate.
That one?
9?
Um,
Just a hair high.
I wasn't sure if it was
she's trying to nose it, and the likelihood right now is that when she does nose it, she's going to jam it straight back onto her own stone, and she'll have 2 of them in there, but it might give Rachel the opportunity to
like
bring
the
the
other
dynamite and
Yeah, if you know the
blow
other
them all
turn,
out of there.
that's good. It's bigger.
Well, it's what makes it better, I think.
Wow, the other turn is. They haven't seen anything down here.
Well,
9?
Yeah.
9, yeah.
well, she's not.
well, we do know this spot is a little straighter going on the in turn. So for Justin Murphy trying to nose this,
Yep.
Close.
Yep. Hard.
really starting to curl.
Whoa. Hard. Okay, good.
So it looks like Blue are sitting 2.
Good.
1, 2.
Do you think?
Can't
Yeah.
do anything
Good
here.
sweeping.
The only thing we can do is try to do that.
I think so.
But we can't overcurl. Like, that's the only out she gets, right?
Is right here?
Yeah, I like that.
She can 3-step. I can't get her out.
Oh, so close. 8.5.
I don't
Well,
know.
would
I think
you?
I think she
But
could
we're
almost
trying
come
to
down
figure
and
this
throw a
out.
hit on this outside blue and try to release her back blue, because that's the only thing saving the yellow right now.
I just wonder.
She's talking about hitting that on the outside.
Out, she might have something. I don't think we touched this.
Well, I
think
just
this
mean
is-
with draw weight, it's never really going
Yeah.
anywhere.
Well, then you're not tapping it anyway.
What about just drawing to
I
full
think we
four?
try for.
Well, the
this,
problem
half
is
open.
that like if she comes fed over
try for
curls
half
and
o-
pokes
like,
out, that's the only
gotta
way
just
Justin
be a
can
smidge
sort of
under.
in off and get into the
It's heavy, we
pocket
just bring it
pocket of
deep
rocks
if it's
over
not
here.
gonna be
Yeah.
good. It seems like it's walking here, eh, Rach?
She's not very.
Okay.
So to outcount that yellow one at the back, she
got
actually doesn't have to
center
be
though, eh?
outcounting it now, right? She could just use this as a positioning shot.
Well, if she bites the top
easier to do
top of the
that?
forefoot,
With the one guard, no.
Oh yeah.
if she bites the top of the forefoot here, then
Can't be light.
I almost think if you peeled off that the left-hand guard, what does Justin have?
No, not that deep. She's gonna freeze to us. Go all the way back. Bite the
She
back.
doesn't really have any angles, so
Slow in practice.
Rachel Homan, the 30-year-old, new mother this past season.
Probably too much. Okay, well then.
She and Joanne had their babies
Really
a month apart.
curling. Gonna
Two
have
little
to go back
boys.
here.
Wonder if they'll be curlers.
Hard line.
Well, my kids don't curl. Like, look, this is going
Bite
to
the
come way out the
floor, bite
open
the
here.
floor.
Oh,
Take a look.
No.
Go all
Hey,
the way
gotta go
back.
deep. Well, this is the worst possible spot.
Whoa, whoa.
You kind of call that. She hits that in the.
I think she's got the exact
is
same
now, I
shot
think
she
it's-
through the first time.
Sweeping are good, eh?
You know what? She can get in there. She can probably jiggle the blues over and lay
It's further over this way.
one for sure, maybe 1-2. But
So
the challenge here is
Yeah, like literally just flop.
Seems like it's just really dishy.
you may give
Do you like the in still?
Rachel the chance
No,
to
but it's open repair.
Well, do you think
take
there's a,
yours out then.
Yeah, do you think there's a chance that when she comes off of that blue, that she'll jiggle her own yellow
Oh yeah.
out of that?
Wow, yeah. If she disturbs the
weight.
rocks on the right, 100%.
8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I just threw. Yeah, we just want to flop over.
I think if they can keep it out, like it's a lot closer.
Yeah, I think it's still over curling though. Like it was just like a funnel down there. We're doing the
Fight,
same
fight
thing.
four was fine.
Yeah.
Justin Murphy, the 23-year-old, living in Mississauga. Oh dear.
Whoa!
That's never good.
Oh no.
Close!
She's on the guard.
Oh,
On the guard.
Yeah, she just stumbled coming out of the hack and she just
Same line.
lost her line.
oh, I just threw like almost half weight.
I know, but do you want more?
Yeah, the poor girl. She stumbled coming out, and then
Really fell over. Sorry, guys. I don't
now it's
know,
going to be a
that was
free
lot
draw
of
for
weight.
4 for Rachel Homan to start this first end. Sorry, in the second end.
They are a team that can just kill you when you make a mistake.
Same line, Em? Yep.
And you never know what causes causes them to stumble like that. Is it nerves? Is it maybe excited about the opportunity that she can make a big shot? It's unfortunate because she is such a good little young talent and one that's been around the game for a long time and will be around the game for a long time.
For sure.
You're not on it.
Just needs full 4 here.
No backing.
We got 2 and then steal 1.
They're trying to hang on here for the draw, and that looks like it's going to be 4 for Rachel Homan here in the second end of play. Wow, that was an exciting end. Lots of things going on, some great shots made.
Yeah, that was
Some chances for both sides. Like Rachel
Yeah.
put her first rock in the worst possible spot, and Justin just stumbled coming out of the hack. So it could have been the opposite. It could have been Rachel fighting for one there.
You know, we've seen all our games this week on this specific sheet, and because it is curling so much, it's really difficult to be
And then my second kind of normal.
what do I want to call it, clinical about placement of some of the rocks. So I think that there'll be ample opportunity for Justin to create extra points as we go here.
Let's get our viewers caught up on the other games. It's 1-0 for Harrison over Froud after one end of play. It is 1-0 for Ballston over Brandwood. And it is 4-0 after two ends for Team Duncan over Team Inglis.
I'll ask her.
And that 4-0 for Duncan over Inglis. Obviously for
Sorry, do you
Duncan,
want a side?
that would pretty well assure Duncan of second place then if Murphy were to lose this game.
Yeah.
And there would be no tiebreakers on the ladies' side.
Oh, fuck. Exactly.
But we're a long way off from that. Lots of game to go.
Well, long way back for both teams.
Looks heavy.
Well, Lisa
Looks
Weekle
heavy.
here throwing up the
It's 7, go ahead.
her rock and probably in the top of the 4-foot here.
Yep. Can't hurt it. Can't hurt it, guys.
You know, I was impressed this week with the Pat Ferris's team. I think they got down to Glenn Howard and they kind of just kept pumping each other up in the game, saying, "Come on, boys, keep grinding, keep grinding." And that's kind of the same sort of attitude that Justin's team's going to need right here. You know, just keep grinding, chip away.
Line's good.
You know, they've beat them before. They know they can beat them.
Starting to move now.
And if they giving it up in the second end is, there's still lots of time to come back. So I actually heard them saying, okay, let's get our deuce and then steal one, and we're right back in this game.
Very nice. It's a lot better over here.
Well, Grace Holyoke gets the
Top 12's great. It's a lot better
corner
over here.
guard up.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Next week, I am headed over to Scotland to coach my team Patterson. They start February the 8th and their Scottish championships.
Whoa.
Next week I'm off to the Dominican Republic.
Oh, well, you enjoy that.
I like my weather better than yours.
Yeah.
I know they'll be playing the likes of Cameron Bryce and Bruce Mowat and Glenn Muirhead and
Should be
Ross
fun for
White.
you guys, though.
Yeah. I'm hoping they can beat the crap out of all those guys.
Line's
Is that
really
a
nice.
technical term?
You got room. Room. Line's good. 5. Starting to curl. Straight first. No, curl first.
I just heard an observation that Rachel made about
Hard, you
that
gotta go. 14.
the difference in the weight on both sides of the sheet, and we noticed that in our earlier game
Keep going for curl. Keep
that
going for curl.
the side they're playing right now is a little heavier.
Well, that's two perfect stones by Grace to start this end to get them in a good setup position. Rachel now going to try to.
She's called for a guard.
Yeah, well,
Line's
it's kind of like what
inner line. Roll there.
you know. You
Inner
could
line.
hear Janet saying, like, let's just get two here and then try to steal one. So I like the mindset. You know, that's it. Let's get a victory here.
It's got to sit. Okay, judge, Grace.
There should be touching there, I think.
Got a pair?
Yeah, exactly. The rocks are going anywhere anyway.
Just 8.5. Want to just roll to there.
8.5. That's pretty good takeout weight.
Yeah. Well, Stephanie Matheson, the project manager for Collier's Project Leaders, living in Dundas.
Definitely. Keeping 60. Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Play the raise hit here.
No roll. Nice shot, Steph.
Good one.
Oh, she got the roll she wanted too.
Oh, perfect. And she ends up getting a sort of a double corner guard out of it as well. So
I think we peel Rach.
What? The top one then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice shot.
Yep.
well, for Rachel, she's just going to play the scoreboard here. Get Joanne Courtney to peel off this this guard.
I think I like one up there.
So Justin showing some great patience here, putting that corner guard back on.
Well, the problem right now is the Homan stones are all kind of grouped together, and she really doesn't have a double on them. So at some point, she's going to have to try to make a play and sort of, as we've been saying, rearrange the furniture to create some angles that that can work for her.
Two's good.
Yeah, working on it.
Good.
Stephanie Matheson just getting that in place, and actually that's in a
See half of that?
might be a little long.
You okay with this? Yeah.
Normal.
So that guard just over curled a little bit, and exposes the tighter guard. So Team Homan are going to make a pass at this. Good.
Emma Miskew here,
Yep. Whoa.
throwing this in turn. I don't know if she can. I think all she can do is peel it off.
Almost tapped up her own on the way by.
Well, now I think Justin can make a play on the one of the Homan stones and roll buried.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think she can
That's
actually.
fine.
Like curled and then.
No, I don't mind going right in.
You can go in, or I like your call. I
Have
like
to be on this side of our yellow.
hitting one of those.
And it tracks all again.
Down that way. That's all I needed to see.
But then we just spun up for a guard.
Yeah, same draw.
So actually, I think she should be on the other side of her yellow. I think she should try to get across the face and tap it back, so that way there won't be a double. If she's on the high side, there will be a double.
Line's good. Line's really nice.
Line's
You're a bit
really
wider
good.
path.
Whoa,
Line's good.
whoa.
5-4. Go ahead. Line's great.
Janet Murphy, the
Got a curl of hair.
Whoa.
director of curling at the
15.
Mississauga Golf and Country Club.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Pistol. Very nice.
Good shot. I don't think there's a double there now.
No, there's not, but I think for Rachel, I think she's going to try to, if she can get to the nose and nose this and stay frozen onto the Murphy stone, she will.
Joe.
She may have poked this. She may have poked
Yep,
this
all the way,
back.
all the
I
way,
think
all the way
she's
hard.
going to get enough of it.
Good. Real good.
Good. That came up more without the clean. Like the first one, it had no break point. That came up. So
Who shot? Where's shot?
They
I
are.
think it's just
Yeah.
like the
You can play
inside
that.
clean countering the curl is making a big difference. So if
9.
we're wide, you can clean it. 9. Great job.
Well, for Janet Murphy here, if she can make a soft double and roll her shooter buried,
That one did.
they will be in a good position
It wasn't super great.
to get a couple of points here.
Joe.
Hard.
Yes. Yes. Right to it. Right to it. Right to it. sweeping. Really light, sorry. 10-3.
It's really thin, eh?
Yeah.
Quarter?
Okay.
I'm worried about taking my own.
Yeah.
Let's take your own.
Yeah. Almost want to miss it if I miss it, right?
Well, that ends up being
Putting it behind the guard.
I think,
so
a great
it's-
result.
Yeah. What?
Just light.
But
Actually,
I
if you
think
just miss it,
Rachel's going to
yeah.
bring the heat, and she may be able to get
Uh,
rid of that
about the
stone
line?
off her own.
Oh, I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. Worried about it running over here? Yeah, I think you're on the line though. It'll be okay.
Quarter. Hard to try and get it to go.
I mean, we can.
Should curl up an inch, I think. Straight through.
You know, for Rachel, you know, she's won the Scott 3 times. She's won the Worlds once. She's got a silver and a bronze as well. You know, the lure of winning the Scott and getting back there has not faded for her.
Oh, she lost the final last year on a game that she wouldn't normally. She was up and lost it in an extra, so that's so
Dead houses.
not her. Not her style.
No chance for two. Throw it as hard as it. You just double
Yeah,
that?
I
So
know.
she'd love to get back there.
Curl, eh?
You
I
like
think
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
for Justin here now, I think her best
The hair high.
bet is to, you know, make the double, kind of try to roll away just a little bit if she can, and make sure that there's no double for Rachel right back.
Right.
You know, try to get your 2 points here, kind of like what you were saying as was your end plan.
Yep.
8.
It's within her reach right now, for sure.
Okay. Sure. 8. Just a hair high. I like less than. No. High.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay. I need less ice then if we're throwing 8. Yeah. High. Low. No. How about the other high?
It's just like, wow.
I think it's really important here, Ian, to make sure she needs to make this double. Worry about the roll after.
Oh, yeah, make the double, because there really isn't going to be a double back for Rachel.
Yep. Clean. Wow, wow.
Yes!
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Roll it in hair, Steph.
Good. Very nice, Jess.
Great shot by Justin.
As hard as I can. Gotta come this
Good.
way.
Yep. She'll try that.
Throw an extra rotation.
Probably
Good throw.
need. Nice. That. Yeah.
I just
Good.
Yeah.
Really hard extra rotation.
Well, for Rachel, I don't think there's an angle to get all the way over there. She may try to roll this perfectly buried and be shot stone.
Right. She's throwing it really hard with extra rotation. That's
Well,
what she told her sweepers.
Yeah. So, you know, she's giving it more than a college try to get it over there.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if there's another woman that can throw with the heat like that.
No, and she just threw this back, and it's
Didn't
going
even
to...
throw it that hard.
I think that was probably about a 5-second peel, though.
I think if I let go there at 3/4, but I let go at half where I wanted to hit it.
You know, it's a difficult spot. Like, she slid a little bit tight, and so when she's letting it go at the broom, and especially with that type of weight, the rock is actually going backwards. And so hence she only hit half the stone. So for Justin Murphy here, the opportunity to pick up 2 valuable points and get back into this game. Her last rock of the third end.
All she needs is paint.
Line's good.
Don't even clean it.
I disagree.
Starting to curl.
No, don't even clean it.
I think it's okay.
13 and a half. Is that going to hang in there at the back of the ring for
Yeah.
a second point? Just enough. Well,
Just in time.
oh,
Uh-oh.
you're a poet and you didn't know it. For Justin Murphy, that's
Just
2
slow
big
that down a
points,
little.
and so it'll be 4-2 for Rachel Homan
13-3. Big slide.
after 3 ends of play.
For what?
On sheet A, Team Froud picked up 2 in the second and now lead Team Harrison 2-1. Over on sheet C, Team Ballston, actually they're just putting up another score here. Oh my, they stole 1 in the second and 3 in the third, and they now lead 5-0 over Team Brandwood. And over on sheet D, Team Inglis picked up their 2 in the third end, but still trail Holly Duncan by a score of 4-2.
Well, lots of exciting things happening here in this final draw of our Ladies Ontario Provincial Championship.
You know, it's been a long week for some of these teams.
Line's real good.
Sure, they'll, you know, they're
Line's
not
really
playoff
nice.
bound,
Weights
so they'll be happy that
Halfway
that their
tight.
grind is over.
Yeah.
Curl
And they'll
down.
take their lessons and they'll move on and, you know, finish off the season as best they can and start all over next year.
Good, Grace, good.
See, it's funny that we're saying that. It's only January.
Yeah.
No.
Well, for Lisa Weigel here, it looks like Rachel is calling the shot that made Lisa famous. Is that the Weigel wick here?
Is there a Tetley shot that we can refer to sometime?
Before.
Yeah, but
You gotta do
I don't
this.
think they're
You
made
force,
shots.
You gotta do. You force, you gotta do. Force. You score 2. Little extra. Easy.
There's a famous one that from Ottawa
Yep.
that
Whoa.
Paul Savage, and
Clean, yes.
Graham McCarroll, and Brad Savage would probably care to.
Hard.
I never did throw.
Hard. Right over, right over. Hard.
Look at that.
Great toss.
Never a doubt.
Same spot.
Yeah, I know.
2, 2.5.
It's just the building. It's like, do we? Just, I think clean unless you hear off.
I saw Lisa's dad yesterday, and I saw her sister a while ago. So
Yeah, that's good.
family is
Line's
here to
nice,
support
same
her.
weight, little more,
Well, that's
baby.
you know,
Let
look
it
at
work,
her.
guys.
She makes it like it's throwing a guard, and it takes hours and
Curling
hours
out.
of practice. And she kind of makes it with such regularity that it's not even it doesn't even seem that tough for her.
Sit. Tough. Okay.
Yeah.
While Grace, by slipping into the rings, that definitely hurts.
Well, it just makes the little more challenging.
Well, it's tough to mount an offense when your lead is slipping into the rings, and you're basically negating the the free guard zone.
Clean.
Control.
No, if you're heavy.
Control.
And
I'd love to roll underneath their
Roll
corner
it.
here.
Lisa, or Joe, hard.
That's good. It was like downboard in the end.
Great shot by Lisa Weigel.
I think you just do that.
Well, for Justin Murphy here, I might be more bound to throw up a tighter center guard where it's difficult for them to get rid of it because you've got rocks on either side.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the best way to generate a steal.
Curve on cutters are tough.
Clean.
Yeah.
Clean.
Wait, wait.
Whoa. Clean. Whoa. 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 Good. Ooh, that rolled low.
It rolled to a nice
Board.
spot, but they're not going to leave it there.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I think Rachel Homan's going to get Joanne Courtney here to try to play the
Board.
similar hit and roll to what Lisa Weigel
Yep.
threw.
Weight's good. Whoa.
Oh, it's not coming up.
M.
Nice shot, Joe.
And that's a perfect shot
Oh,
by
spins
Joanne
away.
Courtney. Well, it just kind of takes the play away from the center, and it's kind of what Rachel wants right now. She's hoping to actually get the opportunity to draw behind her corner guard.
Pretty important here that the Murphy team not roll out here and give Rachel that chance.
Well, you know, it's the fourth end. I guess if Jess could, you know, if she could force her to a single point, you know, that would probably be her end plan, and hopefully try to get two back the following end. You know, and just slowly creep back into this game.
Right.
I only got 9 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the come around
Good
attempt
throw, Steph.
for Joanne Courtney.
Yeah, it was.
I think it's close.
Looks a little light.
Okay.
You
5.
can go for line.
5. Yeah, we're late.
Line's good.
A little late. 4. Are we okay? No.
Joanne Courtney, the 30-year-old
Hard, Em. Hard. Hasn't curled at all.
from Edmonton, Alberta.
Trying to get under a piece. It's open.
The weight was okay. They just didn't get the curl that they were anticipating there.
Oh, correct.
It's crazy.
10.
Start.
Joanne gets to play out of
Seven
Ontario
here.
because of the import rule, where each team is allowed one import.
Well, I'll give a lot less. It's just 10. No, no.
Easy. Clean.
Nice throw.
Clean. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Curl.
Yeah.
Curl. Hard.
Whoa.
Hard, 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 hard.
Good sweeping.
That's a good shot.
Well, now she lays two, so right now the force is on. So Justin is got what she's looking for. But I know Emma Miskew here is going to try to hit, and if she can get to the inside, she could possibly get a deuce going.
It would be a fairly short run back, though, although it is with the opposition stone. There's not much room between that guard and the rock in the house.
Oh. Whoa. No, then, no.
This just doesn't break.
Just Joe, hard, hard.
Well,
Trying to get it to
trying.
curl now.
No, it's fine.
Now I have airs.
well, for Janet Murphy,
Okay.
I'd be more apt to maybe roll it way over towards the other side of the house.
You just threw
Try to
10
get some
and a half. Do you like
separation
that?
over here.
There.
Before.
Just flop under a hair.
Because she rolls underneath, you may see
Otherwise it climbs
Rachel walk up and throw the straight back and possibly get rid of both of them.
Both of them.
And then all of a sudden the blank's on.
Yeah, I like rolling away from there as well.
Better throw.
Take the play away from that corner guard.
by a inch.
Whoa.
She may get it here as a plan B.
Curl. Curl to nose, curl to nose. Go. Good.
Well, now the roll under is questionable whether it would be on the rings or not.
I threw it better. The first one.
What do you like?
I think we have to try it.
Well, I don't know if we'll even be shot.
threw it better.
Yeah, I
Jeff,
know.
sorry.
We can't leave the rock.
Yeah, you
there.
did. That's okay. Okay.
But
Same
they
weight,
could
I
make
guess?
the long roll.
Okay. Yeah. Anything a touch less.
Clean it.
Whoa!
Joe. No. Joe, hard.
Trying
Joe,
to get to
hard.
the inside here. This is going hard. Is she going to roll far enough, though?
It's good.
But as Rachel suggested, they're not shot, and they may not even be on the rings.
Yeah, or we can go here too.
It like tracks at the end.
We can.
Right,
If we
she's
suck
gonna go
her
around
into
that.
here.
Looks like it
Well,
might
yeah.
be on.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I think we have to be there first.
Wouldn't you not, again,
She
now
plays
even
this
draw to
rock.
the other side?
She's not sitting too on the rings.
If Rachel plays the run back here, she'll be buried.
Buried. Well, they took this and it was
Well, I guess in her opinion, this is the only guard worth kind of going around.
But she's already sitting one. I'm just thinking, split the rings.
especially early. And it's
Yeah.
Do you like around their own? If they end up playing the run, their second top one's not on, so.
With Hawk, I think you got. She's not gonna
We're trying to just go top tee.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. It's because I didn't think that there was a fountain right here, but there is, and then once you get off of it.
Oh, okay. So follow this anyways?
Yeah.
Who threw this one, Joe? She's pretty over the heart.
Justin Murphy
14
now
and a
going to
half.
try to carve this stone around the Homan corner guards. Try to possibly get position to steal a point.
Good. Line's good.
Line's really good, Steph.
You got room even.
You got room. There it goes. Do you need
Curl
help?
first.
Curl. Yep. Yep.
Good on Stephanie that she's almost ambidextrous. Oh,
Okay, good.
sorry.
I think she just got poked,
that
poked
she
in the
can
head.
kind of, well, the fact that she can actually kind of alter between sweeping on one side to the other.
Sorry? It's not about the hit shot there. She's
So that is one of the things that have changed in the last, I want to say, last 5 years, is that, you know, historically there was a rule in the book, the rule book, that your brushing motion had to be side to side, and
Right.
now they let you have the brush over, the brush handle over top of the rock, and at one point there was a rule that you couldn't do that.
Gotta throw a lot of different weight selection.
It's a little
whatever
red.
you want to throw.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I don't mind it.
Okay,
Do you like that ice with control?
control, yeah.
Thought you
think
swept it
that's
really
too much?
nice. I
No,
did.
I like control.
We lost a line of hair, but
Pretty different to be
a good spot.
playing, you know, the whole end in the 12-foot.
Okay, yeah.
And if it comes up to go,
Yeah.
it's fine. We gotta stick around.
Well, so I was almost thinking right now that
Steph's like,
Rachel might even hit the outside one and try to just roll underneath hers. Try to get her 2 points going.
I'm not used to keeping with her on that side.
Should run fairly straight. No, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't think nose.
Either a
gets
quarter
inside.
or nose.
Yeah, just needed the super.
Hoping to nudge her own in here too. I'm not really sure.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
No,
We're
yeah,
close.
keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going to stay.
Take the roll hard.
Nope.
Hard, Joe.
No. Great shot, Rach.
Well,
That is a great shot.
it's an interesting plan B.
I think that's worth it.
That's why I say there's two sides of the rock.
Exactly. That's why I think the Murphy team should have drawn over here.
At the end, we haven't played it.
I spun a little.
Well, the interesting part about this is actually, if she hits this just an inch across the face, she'll stuff it back there, but also her shooter can roll on the rings to lay 3.
8.5?
And if Rachel doesn't
Yeah.
make her last stone, there might be an opportunity to steal
We just
2 or more.
have tiny smidge.
Do I throw this middle as 12 again? I guess I have to. Right?
Sorry.
This middle is 12 again.
I think you'll finish up a bit in this spot.
Well, that's
Do you like it? We can tighten the broom.
So it wouldn't be any slower.
Well, this is the spot we've watched that this does move up.
I think it was a weird time. Like about 14 minutes.
Yes. Hard.
Gotta go hard.
Nah, I'm not sure she got out to the brim.
No.
I think I throw normal. Okay. There's lots of room to roll.
Unfortunately for Jess there, it's going to be, I forgot that that rock may be
Oh,
biting.
yeah,
There
it's
could
so
be a hit and
close.
roll for 3 here.
So normal, we have the whole house,
Yeah.
but I think it'll come up.
It wasn't
I'm gonna
enough.
keep
I'm
it-
gonna keep it there.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
obviously.
Do you want me to keep my weight up out here?
I like normal.
Okay.
It wasn't enough ice.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, the teams just aren't used to their takeouts curling so much. And I think that Justin just got caught in that spot. We saw Glenn Howard get caught in that spot.
What can we do?
Okay, well.
Normal. Throw it to keep it there.
So this could be for 3, as you suggested.
Just a little.
Well, if she gets the 3 points, she will jump to
Yeah, I think so.
a big 7-2 lead.
Yeah, that's great.
Easy. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
Clean.
No. Lisa, hard.
Looking for it to curl
Clean.
anything.
She's got the roll.
Wow, that's definitely 2, and looks like it must be 3 because it was kicked off by Janet Murphy. So that's going to be a 7-2 lead for Rachel Homan over Justin Murphy.
Gonna do.
Oh, yep. The impossible roll. The double roll.
Yeah, that'll.
Can we change anything?
So still curling like.
There's still, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of game, but the Homan team are playing so phenomenal.
Okay, do you want just the nicer side? Like you threw the 7 in the worst spot on the sheet.
So getting everybody caught up here, Team Harrison have picked up 2 in the third, and they now lead Team Froud by a score of 3-2. Team Ballston continues to score in every end here. They're stealing things right out from under Brandwood's
Just your rocks.
feet here. It's 7-0 now there. And over on sheet D, Danielle Inglis's team have come back with a steal of 2 of their own, and that game is all tied up at 4 now.
Wow, what a change over there, and you know, because that's a vital game for a playoff spot. So nice to see Danielle's team come back and tie that up. And our feature game here, big 3 there by Rachel Homan
She'll get it.
to lead 7-2.
Better here now.
You know, she got rather fortunate with her first one.
Out there.
She kind of made a hit and roll that she wasn't really calling. And then Justin just couldn't follow it up. You know, maybe the better shot for Justin would have been actually throwing the out-turn draw. She would have been guessing at ice, though, to try to corner freeze her.
Yeah, or what about drawing around all the blue rocks that were,
Yep.
well, it
Well,
turns out
they
one
had
of them
played
was
that
in.
in turn. She could have
Yes.
gone back in there.
Yeah. The run back, it was new territory. They underbroomed it. They know it now, but it's, you know, the horse is out of the barn now.
Yes.
Curling a lot.
Hindsight's always 20/20.
Lisa Weigel putting her first stone right on top of the 4-foot here.
Just leave it high.
Will once again force
Good shot.
Top 12.
the Murphy team to make all their shots.
Clean it for line.
You know, they awarded the Sportsmanship Award before the start of this game, and it's an award that's voted on by the players. And Danielle Inglis won it, and I can't think of a better person to give it to. She's
Yeah.
such a nice person on and off the ice.
Well, and she's got a vibrant personality and you know,
12, yep.
easy person to chat to.
And she's really nice to her team, even on the ice. Like, she's always positive, and
Oh, and she's always coaching too. Like she's, you know, she deserves a chance. I know she lost the final on Whitby 2 years ago, and I think she would like another, or 2 years ago or 3
yeah,
years
when
ago.
Holly Duncan went, yeah.
Line's really nice.
In 2018, yes.
Line's good. Starting to move now.
It's like, can't throw them hard enough.
No.
Good, Grace.
Grace Holyoke putting
Very
up the double corner guard here.
We don't need to be in, no. Is that 5? Okay.
Yeah, right out to her, your last one.
So
in the intercept.
Joanne
It's also
Courtney
good
is
on the
throwing the number 5 rock, so they have switched them up here. They're not throwing them straight up the blue rocks. So either since the last time they played on this sheet, or through their practice, or other information that they've collected.
Okay, we're there.
We're in.
Yeah, real tight.
Around
Well,
it.
Rachel just trying to get
top 12.
Joanne Courtney to
Might stop.
throw a tight guard
And we gotta
here.
go really tight.
It's coming down.
It's wide open. Gotta go really tight. Biting's fine. We gotta cross the center line. Hard. Hard, keep going, keep going. It's okay if we're in. Go, 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 hard.
Really nice spot, Joe.
Yep.
I don't mind this way and roll to that corner.
Okay.
The good news is, even
No,
if
no,
we're
no.
not, you can still.
It's going to be a much tighter corner.
Okay.
Heel.
Those are a really good pair for you because it's impossible to be heavy. It's nice. Joe boards for your tips. Nothing.
Well, for Justine Murphy here, she's just trying to be patient here with the Homan stones. Try to get rid of the front, try to get rid of one of the other ones, and roll for a corner guard.
Oh.
Okay, good.
Bad call, sorry.
Yep.
Well, she
with the
rearranges
PLA.
the situation, but leaves
Yeah,
the
we
center
can.
guard.
They still got a corner, but that's fine.
Well, Rachel's just, like I say, she's trying to play the scoreboard here.
Coming up a bit there.
Not let them get too much with respect to guards out front, just so, you know, if something does happen more than anything.
I don't mind a split, Jess.
Yeah, let's punch that behind
Yeah.
our own. Back 8.
Yeah, at least back 8. Good rotation. A little bit, maybe back 12 even.
Yep. Yep.
Good shot, Joe. Wait, you just threw 2.
And Justin has the exact opposite mentality. She wants to keep rocks in play here and keep some junk at the back of the house for potential jams.
Yep.
Yeah, a little light.
Little light. Whoa. Light. Yep. Hard.
T-line!
Hard.
T-line!
Yep. Hard.
Looking at
still.
her, well, the second best shot here is probably tapping it beyond the
Yes.
corner, but she may make a nice straight back here tap.
Okay. No, okay.
Go.
Is that the second one?
Yeah.
If you can nose that, it's pretty good.
Or, yeah, they'll have a double to sit right there.
That worked out all right.
Okay. I can even just roll out.
You're not using their
Well,
corner.
I'd rather you be in the way. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
It's a really thin double. I don't love it.
Yeah, they have a nice corner
Well, it was-
guard there, and they,
You tapped
know,
it full top.
Yeah?
Well, I don't,
They're
I
they're
don't
not
know
really
what
using
the,
it. Yeah.
to me, these girls so it
like it?
throws straight and inaccurate. Why wouldn't you
What kind
throw
of wave
the
do you
in-turn
want?
and just try to nose it?
Normal, I guess.
And if you hit
Normal?
and flop over a foot, it's perfect.
If I roll out, I roll out.
I think
I
that's
get that.
actually what she's doing. Yeah.
Yeah. But there just seemed to be some conversation with respect to turn.
Yeah.
Yep. Whoa. Lead. No. Joe. Yep, Joe. Hard.
Good looking shot here, and she does just that. And she
Just
knows
threads
it.
the needle.
You know, it's an absolute weapon. It's sort of the difference between the upper echelon ladies teams versus sort of the teams that are down a tier or so. Is that,
I'm great where I
you know, when you can throw it hard and
get it,
accurate,
and then
it just
it
brings
stays the same.
so many more angles into play. And it just makes it simpler when you don't have a lot of information. You know, when you don't have a lot of information as to the way a spot is going to track, you know,
That
it's
is my
easy to put the
call.
broom down in the middle of the rock and just kind of throw it as hard as you can.
Oh.
And when you
okay.
can throw, even you can throw like a 6-second peel like these ladies are doing, then
Pack.
it makes life kind of easy.
Yeah.
Board.
Board. Well, then we need to discuss that because solid board.
Whoa.
Close.
Close. Whoa.
Whoa. Close.
Whoa. Close. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard. Good, Janet.
That's a great shot by Janet Murphy. Actually, she opens it up. Now they've got access to behind, you know, the center guard.
Two.
Even though that Rachel Homan is
We're
laying
two.
2.
Might even be line 3.
I think we still have to hit that, Rach. Not sure how to peel it. I think they can roll both under. I think we have to hit that one. I think we got to hit that.
Yeah.
Well, they're,
Because now we have shit in the back. We have guards.
we're just opening that up.
I know, but
Yeah.
right now they can like hit and roll the back one in.
We'll listen in to
So hitting this corner isn't super helpful.
Rachel and Emma.
Okay,
she
we
can
can
do.
Like we're
I
third
don't love
shot.
ripping the 7
She can
either,
do
but-
this, and this is just gonna go back onto that.
Oh, fuck.
And if we peel just this one, she's going around to that one, which is better than her being able to roll. I don't know if we can ignore that raw.
You don't know what?
If we can just ignore this. Like we open it up, she comes around, we peel.
We're still opening it up if you do that.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying is I don't think we can leave this rock in sitting like that on that one.
Okay. We're going to have to be chasing, but
Yeah, like I can't go around because then it's the same thing. I could bump that up to 5
So, while we're using their clock,
and move my shooter out of the way. Because right now she can get both under, so I don't want to peel this one. Then you're facing 2 buried. Okay?
You're up 7-2 here.
I think they're overthinking it here.
I know,
think
just hit.
come down
I would just remove
I
it.
think
Punching
they
that
can.
7
I think they can nose
I like
the
it.
I really like it.
nose
that's fine.
the
Let's hit
top
this.
one up here. Even if they
call.
tick their own
Alright,
over a
like
little
smoke
bit.
before I have to
She's
make
her
contact,
only
so.
Justin's only shot's going to be to try to play the wide out turn and try
I
to
just
go
like
through the
hitting this,
port
they
and
can
get to the
make
4-foot.
something.
Okay.
At that point, now Rachel can have a straight back on her own stone. Right? Is that?
And it's only one. Like Justin's going to maybe draw in and sit one.
Well, she's not going to go. She's not going to go try to go around the corner guard. She's actually going to try to come through toward to the
Right.
to the center.
Stay close. A little wider.
You know, and for Justin, she's, you know, and
Yeah.
she has to sort of let it out here.
Drag it
Like she's got to gamble.
Gotta go, Elise. Gotta go to miss the back hard. Push really hard. Okay. Let's see.
That was about the only spot you didn't want to go is actually underneath because, and especially half askew because
It's now at the double guard.
Okay, T-line.
Shit.
You know this curl.
No, I don't need it. Okay. Forgot that I put it there.
Janet Murphy's going to try and get this one around, get it buried, even if it's in the back of the 4-foot. And
Line's good.
Okay.
Line's good.
Line's
Close for
good.
line. Yeah, line. Yeah, line.
Yep.
Yep.
have
Hard
to go
line.
really hard for a weight and line here.
Yep. Hard.
I gotta get
Whoa,
rolling.
whoa.
Doesn't look like enough weight.
I think she kind of tipped it in.
Hey,
Yeah, that was a
Lisa's
was a golden opportunity.
same weight?
Well,
I gotta be this side of it.
yeah, this is kind of like stick the knife in and twist. I think it's an opportunity for Rachel to
This is much wider.
maybe hit the final nail in the coffin here.
I need a little more.
Like top 4 here, and where's Justin going to go?
And she's probably going to have to play a straight back and hopefully stick around.
My second draw. I think 6, 8.
I don't know if that's enough, but
I could try.
yep.
You give a little extra just because it's curling.
Danielle Inglis just drew in against 4 Duncan stones, and Duncan may have a quiet tap back for 5 here.
Line's good.
She bounced off a little bit, eh?
Hard.
But for Rachel Homan here, trying to get her
Push, guys.
draw
Line's
in
perfect.
to the top of the
You're on the
4-foot if
top,
she
yeah.
can.
Okay, keep
Hard,
going,
hard,
keep
hard. Bounce off. Hard. Hard.
Just light.
Wow. Wouldn't have predicted that.
That was a 15-8.
Yeah.
I would have had to throw 11 again. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you're going to have to help
So another chance here.
hold it out here. 'cause remember,
Yeah.
you had a
Oh,
free
and they
draw over
just
here
rubbed on the front on that. So it's a steal of 1 for Team Inglis, and they go up 5-4 in that game on Team Duncan.
By top forfeit.
Over on sheet 1, they're all tied up at, sheet A, they're all tied up at 3 now.
Yeah, I agree.
And on sheet C, Team Brandwood are on the board now. They took 1 in the 5th and now trail
I got 14-6 on Janet.
Team
I don't
Ballston
like
by a score of 7-1.
She's just fully here. Would you like to move around it, or?
that. Exactly, yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
So another chance here for Team Murphy. Sink 1 in here, especially behind that staggered.
Well, this is kind of a must shot. If she doesn't get this in here, Rachel will plug that side, and it will make it almost virtually impossible for Justin to get in there.
Now, she just watched 2 draws in a row come up short here, so sure she added a little bit when she let this go. And that's a beauty.
And that's a perfect draw. Well, that will definitely get her a point.
Wow, the TSL just like, okay. It was fine. You were by this much. Yeah. Instant replay? Oh man.
2 rocks to come here in this 5th end of our final ladies draw. Rachel Homan looking to plug the path here, so
Just worried that it's getting
Justin Murphy cannot get a second point.
She'll still have a wide raise on the Yellowstone that's on the Purex logo.
Line's good. No. Okay.
hard then.
The line's gone on.
Just 6. Need 4 foot. Wait only. No line.
There it comes.
Oh, I think you're heavy here.
Right, they might be able to get it to the button.
Gotta finish
Might get
big.
shot out of this.
Shot.
Oh my goodness. Actually, now she could get her 2 just by drawing down to that.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. It's not quite where it was, but.
So Rachel left the door open for her here.
Because there's so many rocks in play, everybody seems to stumble over rocks on this sheet.
So I think we can come to our own. Janet said we can, so.
Janet said we can. It's
Or a little chat
mom
on
at
our
home.
own, like. Yeah, Janet got a 13-9 on it.
I'd have a hard time getting used to calling my mom by her first name.
Well, when she's your teammate, I think it's a little different. Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
I played for my father 1 year.
If I add a little
many
more,
moons
I think it
ago.
won't hurt. but
call
at
him
least
Dad
we're
or-
saying out, right?
Probably good. Or Bill, one of the two.
Made enough oopsies.
Justin Murphy with her last stone here in the 5th end of play, trying to get a much needed second point.
Line should be good if the weight's right. Sweep for T.
You're a
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
wider
line's
than the
good.
last one.
Line's good. Yep. You can come to it or you just, yep, line's perfect. Weight's the same.
That's a great
Good.
shot.
Very nice, Jess. 2, yeah.
Perfect shot by Justin Murphy here to get the second point. She will trail by a score of 7-4 when we start up the 6th end. So with that, the team takes a little 5-minute break and we will join them. So stay tuned here for the back half of this game and we'll be right back with you.
Two pretty good sweeps.
Welcome back to the continuing coverage of this Ladies Ontario Provincial Championship. We are in Cornwall at the Cornwall Civic Centre here, Cornwall Civic Complex. And our feature match this afternoon, we've got Justin Murphy from the Mississauga Golf and Country Club against Rachel Homan from the Ottawa Curling Club. The teams have had their break. They've had their pep talk. And away we go for the start
Line's good.
of this second half of the game.
I like the
Starting to really curl now.
the attitude of the Murphy team here. You know, they're sticking with their game plan. You know, they could have easily, you know, let themselves get down and depressed here with giving up a 4 and a 3, but they haven't. They've continued to battle and they're making the shots, and that was a great 2 that they scored there. You know, it didn't look good for most of the end, and Justin had the chance to draw one in there and put some pressure on Homan, and Homan was heavy, and she opened the door for her to get her deuce. So good on Team Murphy here.
Well, for Lisa Weigel here, I think she's going to try to split this rock off because it is so tight to the rings.
It's good.
Even if she taps the Murphy stone into the rings, you know, then they can hit it on the next one because of our free guard zone.
No. We're good. Joe.
It's pretty good weight here. Very nice.
Nice one.
Absolutely perfect.
Again. Never gets old. How would you like to be that consistent a player?
Good. Nice shot.
Well, for Grace Holyoke, it's even more important now to get this center guard up and in play. She slips into the rings. You know, basically you've nullified your opportunity to utilize that free guard zone.
Yeah, this has to be like a lot shorter than the last one.
Line's good. You're in the same path.
I think so. Sit 2, and then they have to make a call.
Just curling now. It's really late curl there. Really nice.
Yeah.
Well done by
Normal.
the 22-year-old Grace.
Yeah.
Now for Rachel Homan here, she's going to get Lisa Weigel just to try to nose this stone, maybe roll in a foot or 2 if she can.
Yep.
Doesn't want to roll in underneath the center guard because she doesn't really want play there.
Hard push. Hard. Keep going. Go.
Try to make this stone stick around. She does.
You know, even they got caught in that spot because it curls and you don't expect it to finish that much with takeout weight.
Yeah.
9.
Well,
So for Justin Murphy here, here's where you're 3 down. You don't even have last rock. She should probably throw a second center guard.
Yeah, she's dealing right now with 2 rocks that are in the back of the 8-foot.
Well, because at this point, you know, even if she does nose this and make the double, I think you will see the Homan team walk up and peel the center guard and try to peel it into their rock if it's still in the rings and try to double everything out.
Yep. Hard.
Yeah, I mean, you're still down 3. You need to try and generate a steal here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Roll it. Good stuff. Good.
Okay, are you okay coming this way? Yeah, we've seen it. How much?
I think down normal.
Down normal.
This is kind of the shot they threw in the very first end, so they kind of know the way it curls. For Joanne Courtney,
bad. There's stuff under there.
the opportunity to hit and lay 2 points.
Really hard.
Really hard. Yep.
All the way.
Yep.
Hard to miss it back.
Going really hard,
Whoa.
and that did straighten out towards the end, so well done for Joanne Courtney.
just threw on the 5.
What?
It's okay. We were close.
Okay.
Yep.
I agree.
We were ready to go.
Same weight then, 9.
I knew right out of your hand and hit it. Took too long.
Bob?
No, that side now.
Yeah. That's
Whoa,
what I saw
clean.
on my hack waders.
Yeah, whoa. Whoa.
Stephanie
Yes.
Matheson,
Hard. Hard.
the Dundas native, looking to hang around here. You don't want to roll out.
Just missed that spot. Yeah, that's okay. Good weight.
I think now you will see Rachel and crew.
Yeah. Straight through. We can keep it there.
The peeling machines go to work here. And
Easy. Clean's fine. No. Good.
Go center guard. Center guard.
Okay, well, then I like that.
I know Rachel and,
Okay, we can
and
do
John
that.
Morris
We can
are
do the center guard.
playing together in mixed doubles. I'm not sure if the rest of the Homan team have.
Do you like the guard better?
Yep.
Okay.
well, she just did she not just win an event with John Morris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rachel is, and she's committed to playing with him for this.
During the cycle.
Yeah.
Line's good. It's picking. It's going sideways.
It's going sideways. Yeah.
I know in the past, Joanne Courtney played with Reed
hard guard.
for
Really
others.
So for Janet Murphy here, she's just trying to get her center guard in play. And eventually they will try to play down and freeze to the back Homan stone. But for now, Rachel's content just to peel these off, knowing that she will have a clear shot with her last one,
Yeah, I'm okay. Like, I just wanted to.
providing her team makes all their shots here.
No, no.
Clean.
And the peeling train rolls on here.
Okay, one more.
You know, probably back to your point about putting up another center there instead of hitting those Homan stones. It's kind of like the point we were making about trying to think a few shots ahead. And I think that that's probably what they didn't do there.
Line's
right.
good.
Knowing that Rachel would,
Maybe if you get
if there
this
were any kind of rollout, Rachel was going to go up and peel that center guard away on them.
Yeah, like that. It's that's why I
Mine's
kind of felt
really
like, you know,
nice.
you might as well throw the double center, because eventually you'll get a chance to even just come around the center. You'll have a
Good.
center stone to come around. You know, they need to steal here. Like when you get around, if she peels it off, then you can walk over and look at hitting their second shot stone.
Nice shot.
I think that's the difference between, you know, the caliber that the Homan team
I reversed the order.
play at, and, you know, it's just a difference in
Yeah.
experience and strategies.
Yep. Clean. Proceed.
Homan team making this look rather simple.
Little, yeah. At the back.
Really nice. Thanks. First one was not as good as that one was.
Okay, freeze to the back one.
First one I
Justin
was
Murphy, the
a little bit
23-year-old
so I was like,
Brock University student right now.
second one I thought I threw pretty much up the stick.
I think so. Okay. I think it'll just keep
Basically
curling.
attending Teachers College. I know she did complete her degree at University of Guelph. So she's going to try to make this freeze.
I think you're there. Line's good.
Line will be good.
I think you're there.
This is really curly.
Line's
Time's
really
not curled
good.
yet.
But it's a funnel, so it should be fine.
Line's great.
It will curl in
Yep,
there.
yep, line.
Line's good.
Line, right to it.
Looks like they're going hard to keep the line.
Right to it, Grace. Yep. Good.
we can get them
It's
all.
not bad, but it's
Yeah, I feel
could
right
be
there.
pretty easy pickings here.
Well, I think for Rachel doesn't mind if she slashes everything out of the rings here, even takes her own back rock. Then it'll be straightforward for her last stone.
We took that extra ice. I don't think you used much more.
Yeah.
2/3 them. Yeah. Little thicker works.
So Team Froud have stolen one in the 5th and are now up 4-3 on Team Harrison. And Team Brandwood stole 2 in the 6th and are now closing the gap on Team Ballston. The score is now 7-3.
It's interesting. You pointed out earlier today that on the morning draw that we weren't covering, that the Danielle Inglis team took a 7-ender. And Joe, we haven't done our investigative work to find out if she did have a shot for 8 or not.
Yeah.
Joe, clean. Joe.
Just going to pick this off here.
Yeah, takes her own with it, and
Clean slate.
clean house.
Yeah, I got similar. But it's also back 8. So, like, that means it's like a low 14.
Well, there's nowhere to hide, so I guess you try and put this in a spot where you think there might be
Basically.
a chance for a miss.
Yeah. No
Over to
faster.
your side stuff. Okay.
One's fine. I'll throw it real hard and straight. It comes back hard here with the injury.
Well, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for at this point is put it in a spot where you think it might be Rachel's weakness. So, you know, there's a possibility of her either flashing or nosing it. You know, if she noses it, you know, then she takes her single point, and you're down 8-4, and you're into the 7th end, which, you know, you try to get your deuce back, and then you're within 2 rather than being within 3.
Lovely.
Well, and I think the reason why they put it in this spot is because it curls here. Now, Rachel can probably throw it right through the curl, but
Not allowed to sleep it, I guess. Oh, goodness. This is going to curl, but we got to hit it, so. Hard and straight at half, and hopefully you can hold it.
hard and straight.
Yeah, I think for Rachel here, she's just going to try and throw this at her broom and try to pump up the weight and pump up the release, and it should run straight. If she curls up, I don't think she's going to lose any sleep over it.
No.
Just means we have to go for 3.
Yep. Gotta go.
We don't have a lot more.
Hard.
It's on its way. It's looking good.
Hard.
She's, oh my goodness. She almost knows that and still managed to roll out.
Yeah, she hit 9/10 of it, so we will have a blank end here in the 6th end. Rachel Homan will retain the hammer and a 3-point lead.
But then you
Going
can
into
hold
the
it
7th.
early, and then it kind of straightens out a little.
But I'm not throwing my finger either.
Yeah, I know.
Updates across some of the other games. Holly Duncan had to throw her last rock away and accept her single point in the 6th end, so that game is tied at 5.
Mine's going this way.
Megan Ballston has jumped out to a 7-3 lead.
I think you're a valley, but
Chelsea Brandwood team just stealing to the last end to bring it back from 7-1. And Susan Froud has jumped out to a 4-3 lead over Jacqueline Harrison.
She set this in turn and wrecked my guard.
So we'll keep a close eye on that Inglis Duncan game because that does impact the ladies' standings.
or 3, whatever.
Yeah.
And our feature game here between Justin Murphy and Rachel Homan. Homan team having a decided advantage right now.
It's good.
Yep. Go ahead.
I think for Justin Murphy here, I think she needs to step out a little bit and
Nice,
take a
Grace.
couple more chances, especially early in the end, to get some positioning with her
I think you can
her
throw
front
more.
end
You're
stones,
also not
but
close to taking it out, so
this
you-
person
you
here,
select
Lisa
it.
Weigel, is making it extremely difficult for them.
This person. This tick machine.
Yep, yep.
Little
Oh, 11. No.
Once again,
Yep, yes. Hard. Hard.
once again, looking like she's going to
Easy,
All the way off,
Jess.
Sam.
It's
All the way
probably
off.
staying
Hard.
in the
It's not
ring.
out. Go. Hard.
really came down.
still a fine shot by
Oh, okay.
Lisa Weigel.
So based on what I'm looking at the
Just let her know.
standings again here,
And
Ian.
let her know.
If Inglis wins, she gets second place. And Duncan and Murphy both lose, there'll be a tiebreaker for that third spot on the ladies' side.
That tiebreaker would be Saturday morning at 8 a.m.
Line's
That's a
good.
lot less. So it was like close, and then I was
Line's
like, oh,
good.
hard for nose.
Room has not moved yet.
So many picks in this thing.
Curl first.
Use a vacuum more. Use a vacuum
I think
more.
for the ladies, unfortunately, that
A little bit, yeah.
they've had to play the last two morning draws, and
Good one.
for if they had to go back out again, that would be a third.
That's 3 out of 4 days they played the early.
Well,
draw.
and for the tiebreaker, that
I
would
don't
be,
even mind top 8.
if
Okay.
they kept going too, it could be a
See, Miss
3-game
Yvonne
day
trying
as
to
well.
A little heavy's okay. We can watch it.
With the
stop.
women's semifinal being Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. and then the final at 8 p.m. Saturday night.
That's a
Top
lot.
8.
And the men's semifinals in between that at 4:30.
Heavy right now.
No line either. It's running like it's through.
Borderline through. It's coming down. Make sure we're
Never.
not back T. Yeah, Joko.
Oh,
Yep,
oh.
yep, 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 yep. Yep.
So that just settles behind the T line, behind two
Well, that's what I mean,
guards.
is it's not- it's too, it would been better like a foot farther. We should have gone it.
Well, if there's an opportunity for Justin Murphy here, it's right
close.
here with Stephanie Matheson.
Comes
Opportunity to get
Go,
one
that's a
locked
right
on.
now. Line's good.
Stephanie husband Rob is the ice maker
Line's
down
good.
in Burlington.
Straight first. Yep, line.
Go.
Yeah, line. Hard line.
Hard.
Hard.
Hard. You gotta give him
14-4. Yep. Hard straight. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Hard straight. Go, go, go.
Going hard to get it there. Get it there. For,
Very nice.
Comes up a
Looks
little
like-
short.
looks like Homan is still shot stone here.
Good.
Pops close.
Yeah.
Yep. Just.
Joanne Courtney just going to try to simplify their lives here and just rip off this top center guard
Yep, hard him. Really hard.
and try and get the other rock stone at the side of the rings at the same time if she can. And she has done just that. Oh,
Oh, stuffs it.
hard luck.
A high one?
Hard lines, as the
Yep.
Scots like to say.
Yep. Rear shot.
You're perfect. You made it. So close.
No, I don't think it's heavy. It's not heavy.
Wider than Grace.
I know. I recognize that. But
No.
it's
Wanting to put up another guard here.
no deeper. Good. Very nice stuff. We're shot, right? Everyone's questioning me, but
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we are.
I don't think that one's gonna score.
I'm just worried, if we miss it, we don't really roll.
Very nice.
In.
Half?
Okay. So 3/4 might be close here. Yeah.
Looking at the double peel here.
Yeah, for Rachel Homan, she's trying to get Joanne Courtney here to try to throw the in-turn double peel and try to get both of them. And
Might have pushed it out a little bit here.
yeah, she set this back.
Lisa, hard, hard, hard.
You did? Yeah. You okay? No, I'm fine. I just
Again.
there's.
What rock is this?
Well, for Justin Murphy, she's basically going to be patient here with Janet. Try to get her to throw out one more guard. And then you may see
Line's
the
good.
Homan team
Cue
actually
good. No,
change
no, whoa,
gears
whoa,
and go on the offense here.
Has not curled yet.
It wouldn't be the worst thing for
curl,
Rachel to be up
curl
4
first.
after 7 ends of play. Even if she had to settle for 1.
Whoa. Line's getting good. Line's getting good. A little further. Good. Really nice. Good one.
Well, this is kind of like the turning point right now as to, I think Rachel knows that if she's going to peel it anyways,
really
but
go.
you know that Janet's coming in and are trying to come back and freeze on the back Homan stone.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh. Yep, yep, yep.
Well, she gets it the other way this time. Does make the pick. That's a great shot by Emma Miskew.
Yeah, she's.
Okay, same third.
Janet Murphy
Line's
here,
good. Line's good.
the 50-something mother of Justin.
Running a bit better.
Told her
Curl first.
I wouldn't tell her anybody her age.
It's really moving now. Easy.
Wow, this is
It's good. It's a good one.
Good.
Do you want to come and just touch it with your shot too? Okay.
so. I guess all along we've been thinking that blue has been shot, but by the way they've been playing now, I think that Murphy must be shot.
So they're just going to try and touch the sideways a little bit.
Yep.
Felt close.
Looks light. Looks really light. Push hard. Hard.
Got to try and get this here.
You know, Emma hasn't thrown very many draws.
Gotta go. Hard.
Yeah, she's
Joe, take it. Joe, take it.
so
Take it. Go,
thrown
go, go.
15 and a half, and
It's not helping us anymore.
We need to open it up. Okay, well, we can do this. Yeah, it's definitely yellow.
What?
It's definitely yellow.
Okay, well that settles that.
from our angle it looks blue, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Do something here. 2 hits
It's hard to know.
and then we free. Like, what do you think, Steph?
Yeah, I know.
I think
know.
we have to do that.
Yes.
I think we have to do that.
More than.
You like going
If she
there?
plays some like
I kicked out with more
hacky
and then
thing,
I got it.
then we've given ourselves a wall. If we do this, she's
So we're all tied up on sheet A at 4 each between Froud and Harrison.
Yeah, no, I think we have to be here.
Okay.
8-3 in favor of Ballston over Brandwood on sheet C.
We got to get by our yellow. Yeah.
And the drama continues on sheet D here. They're still tied, and looks like
We had stuff.
Duncan is sitting 1, but Inglis is throwing. So
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
so what's the call on our sheet here, Ian?
Because yours is a weird rock that just plowed over there.
Well, to me, like at this point, she could actually draw in and actually get just
Freeze to the back
past
4-foot one.
her own. Yes, like if she can freeze back there.
Just give you a look.
You know, she's down 3 without last rock. She's got to get aggressive. She's got to force Rachel to make shots.
Yeah. Back T line is the right weight.
Okay.
Line's good.
Probably would have had to think like solid.
Okay, line's
Justin
really
Murphy
good.
here, her first stone in the
lots of
7th end of play.
Close. Close.
And this is really starting to curl.
Line. Yep. Yep. Yeah, line. Hard line.
Oh God, you don't want to touch your own here.
Good job.
Whoa.
Oh, jeez.
God, she kissed that, and
Two
Well,
yellow.
we definitely touched the blue. Yeah, I think we touched the blue harder. Okay. Oh, that was so close.
She can just freeze on it.
Good sweep.
That's wide open. I just
No,
hit
it's
it.
not. Yeah, it's not bad. Just heavy. Oh.
Okay.
She's beating herself up a little bit because she was a bit heavy, but she wouldn't have gotten by her own yellow if she was any lighter.
I think that's minimum for the backing though.
Okay. Okay. If it's a bit heavy, I mean.
Harder. Yeah.
Top button. Gotta be shot. Gotta be shot. What do you think it is here? Emma was just light? At least she hit the yellow first and then the blue. Kind of like what I threw out there, I guess. Just a little bit more in practice.
Rachel going to try to follow her down now. And even freeze in there somewhere onto her own. Maybe even touch the top yellow an inch if she can.
Okay, line's good. Switch. Just top button. Switch a bit. Top button. Switch. Switch. Don't switch. Don't switch. Switch. Don't switch. Don't switch. Keep going. Hold the line. Gotta be full 4.
Gotta go, 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 go. They can't be light here.
Hard, Lise, go! Hard! Ready? We just want to be there.
You need to block this off.
Just wanted to switch for distance because I didn't think.
2.
Get her there.
Wow, for Justin Murphy here, here's
We
a
really just need to
a
force.
great,
We
great
do this,
chance
she's gonna
here
Play that for one. She's going to play.
to steal. So the question is, do you throw the guard and hope that Rachel misses the draw?
I say you put it
I like
right
it.
where Stephanie's broom is.
Or the other option is you try and get about 6 inches past her, right on her, just get it past
we
her
just-
at the top of the
She's
button.
going to have a shot. It curls so much.
And
We just kind of go here.
You mean go around the one Rachel just put there?
yeah,
Like just?
just. Because Rachel can sort of make a contact, go off the other one, and sort of flop to thing. But you almost want to leave room so that she could actually go spring off that and go all the way out. So if you throw the guard, she's basically going to be throwing to the button with some backing.
Yeah.
And I think that's
pretty over the heart.
I think it's an easier shot to throw
My last one was back 12.
versus her playing something more delicate down the middle. Justin Murphy, the graduate from Guelph University and now at Teachers College in Brock.
Line's good. Okay.
Line's great.
Line will be good. Yep. Keep it moving. Okay.
Keep it moving a
Little
bit.
more.
So
Yep.
the
It's
tighter
so
she
long
is to the
now.
rings,
Whoa,
the
whoa,
harder
it's
she's
so
going to
long.
make Rachel's
Whoa,
shot, right?
Whoa, 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 Steph, whoa.
Curl a bit.
It's good.
Pretty good.
You know, that's a pretty good spot. It's going to force Rachel to go out much wider and basically straight draw to full 4 foot to take her single point. And I think it becomes a bit of a mental victory for the Murphy team here, though, too.
Oh yeah, totally mission accomplished here. That have Rachel drawn against 2.
Yep, significant. I like 4 more
Pretty
feet.
well.
This has been a tricky spot only in that once
Really walks over.
it starts to curl, it just takes all the weight off of it. And they really haven't made that many shots in this path.
Yep.
Well, they haven't laid a brush to it yet. And if she's heavy, it's going to be a steal of 2 for Murphy.
13-3.
13-3 is like through.
2.
That is
Wow.
heavy, and a steal of 2 huge points for Justin Murphy. Score now 7-6, and once again, we've got a ball game.
It's over on sheet D. Danielle Inglis drew for her single, and she is up 6-5 on Holly Duncan. And they are playing the 8th end now.
Yeah.
So the call again, center guard here for Grace.
Oh, mine, like, I didn't think I threw 2 guard. She was like, it's going to be slower out wide.
Line's good.
It's a 13-3.
Line's good. 2. 2.5. Over curling. No, you're over curling.
One. It's over.
Grace is pretty, almost
Good,
every time
Grace.
she throws in this spot, it over curls. It's like,
Well, it just might be her outturn versus everybody else, and the
Yeah.
fact that you know, the rocks she's throwing may actually curl a little bit more, and Justin's really not icing her for that.
Stay close, yep. Yep. Whoa. Just clean it,
Yep.
clean it. It's really close.
Whoa, whoa. Easy. Yep,
Clean it.
yep.
It's too much. Hit thin.
Okay.
So you think back to that end, and actually the critical error on the Homan side was probably on, obviously, Emma came up well short on her draw, and it gave
okay.
Justin the opportunity to get in there. Well, Lisa Wego with another perfect tick.
Line's good.
I think I might get tired of saying that.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
We might have to say it a few more times this weekend, Eve.
Okay, line's good now.
Nice shot.
Yep.
Well, I do remember a couple of years ago,
That's nice.
or even last year.
Good.
I wasn't there last year, 2 years ago. I thought that was the difference in the Homan's game, is I didn't think Lisa made as many ticks, but obviously she has found her range once again, and it's going to be difficult for any team to mount an offense against them if she's going to make shots like that time after time.
Yeah.
No. Off.
It's less.
Go
Coming down.
hard if you like.
I think people underestimate the difficulty of it. Like to be that consistent.
Yeah, like I think Lisa's second rock here, I think is it's a little bit more of a mover, and they're just not catching it at the right time.
I don't hate top 12.
If you don't have to sweep that rock the whole way, it dies as soon as you lift your brooms.
Line's good.
It's kind of picking.
No, it's not. It's running okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's running nice.
Top 8.
It's running okay.
You're gonna have to curl it. Yep, go ahead. Curl it. Go ahead all the way back, curl it.
Yeah, I
Go,
got
go,
it.
go. Keep going, keep going, keep going,
Lots of
keep
dirt
going.
everywhere.
Okay, good.
Good call, Jess.
Oh,
It's pretty thin, Joe.
it ran okay.
Huh? Yeah.
So another attempt by Joanne here to take the guard and the one in the rings along with it.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Hard him.
Pretty thin, trying to catch the second one over.
Girl.
Well, that will leave Murphy laying 2 here and throwing their own guard.
Yeah. It's supposed to curl there. It's just it hasn't been. They're tight.
Line's
Tight
good.
the other way, like thin.
Straight a little bit, straight a little bit, straight. Okay, you're good.
2, 3, 2.
Never curl it. Clean.
You know, you wonder sometimes when they don't make the tick perfectly, they kind of relinquish the forefoot to the opposing team. So would they be better served getting position first?
Yeah.
And then
Except then you're faced with 2 centers. When you've, or if you try the tick on your first and make it, maybe the next one you don't try the tick.
really close. Really close. Oh, stuffed it again.
Well, it's a little more open now.
Same
It was
thing.
buried before.
I don't know how far it would float. Just
Yeah, a little tighter, I think.
half on it.
They're going to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at some point.
So the first one came up.
Yeah, I must have picked because it's a 5.
Okay.
You know, the irony of all this is that on this sheet we've seen a couple of comebacks from teams. We saw Chelsea Brandwood come back
Line's
yesterday
good.
from being down 5.
Line's good.
No. Line's
Saw
fine.
Ferris
the
come
same
back on
path as
Howard.
Steph.
Saw Ferris come back.
Line's
And now
good.
this comeback.
Line's good.
Curling nice.
We
curl
saw
it
a
a
great
bit.
Epping and
Curl it a
Howard
bit. Yep, you
match
gotta
last
go.
night.
You gotta go. You gotta go. Hard.
So
Little
we're
more,
in store
little more, little
for some
more.
great
Good.
curling all throughout the
Good.
weekend.
I like it that our sheet has lots of curls and lots of
That was a 15.
little idiosyncrasies.
Oh, so she's thrown this in a really
Okay.
good spot to almost taunt
We could do it
Rachel.
one more time.
Okay.
Yep, they're going to try it again.
Well, it's like, you know, at some point you almost feel like you should get
Yeah,
shot stone because they are laying
Good.
2. Even though Rachel's got the hammer.
Not so much.
Yep. Yeah. Whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Still. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, jeez. They've gone over top of it. They've gone
Again,
underneath it.
Yeah,
They've hit
same
it.
thing.
They've stuffed it.
Well,
And they will go around us.
I think Janet is going to throw the tight guard,
So nice and
and
tight.
Rachel will go around at that point. You know, she can't just continue to keep playing defensively here, and she'll end up being forced to take her single
Same
point,
path.
Same throw.
which is at the end of the world. You know, in this
Curl a bit
8th end of
earlier.
play.
Right.
You know, because she can play the following end, even to give up
Over
2,
curling.
hoping
Never
that she'll have the
curling.
hammer
Whoa.
in 10 coming home.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's okay, we
I'm
just
not
did
going
it.
to ask you to look up those stats.
Not yet. I've got them.
Ah, you're prepared.
Yeah.
There goes your call here.
The spot seems
Drawing around that guard.
stuff going the other way.
Well, really important for
Okay. So
for Emma to
First
try
one
to
you
get
were
locked
nice
on
and
to
out. That was a bit straighter.
the Murphy stone at the back of the forefoot.
Line's good. Looks a little light. Yep. Yep. Lots of room. Switch. Hard, Joe. Both of you go. Hard, Joe. Just Joe then. Just Joe. Just finish. Hard. Gotta be glued. Hard. Hard. Hard.
And that's a great shot by Rachel or Emma Miskew.
Half a
Feels
rock
like
at
as you're
least.
sliding, it feels
Half a
like
rock overlaps? Yeah.
Like the other sheet.
She'll try to stay way down at eight.
Yeah, which I think we need to be even closer to nose than half a rock. Yeah. We have the T line.
I tried to throw
So Emma's throw was there.
Justin Murphy plays with a lot of confidence. I really like that for such a young skip.
yeah.
Well, I think the fact that, you know, she's got her mother behind her, and it's got to give her a lot of confidence that it's her mother, it's her, you know, it's her confidant, it's you know, it's her teammate here, and they really have a very special relationship. You can see that, and you know,
Yeah.
I know Jess has been around the game for a long
And we took
time
2
and
roommates
been
more than Emma.
been a great student of the game, watching her mother play. You know, her mother lost the provincial final to Rachel twice. You know, back in 2017 in Coburg, and also 2013 in Kitchener-Waterloo.
I think you can go a bit for line, help it out. Line's okay, line's okay.
Yep.
Line's good.
Line's good. Yep.
And then they also
Line's
lost
good.
the semis to
Right
Hannah in
good.
Brampton in
Yep.
2016.
Line's
So.
good.
Line.
Hard line.
Line.
Line's good.
Come on, Grace, you got it. Right
Easy,
to it,
easy,
Grace.
easy,
Right
easy.
to it. Right to
Yeah,
it,
hard.
Grace. Right to it,
Trying to
Grace.
get it
Go,
there,
go,
trying
go,
to get
go, go,
shots.
go.
Stone.
Good shot.
Like here? Top. Yeah.
Just over curls on them a little bit.
Wow, and that's a matter of like 2 inches,
Yeah.
and so this is going to give Rachel the opportunity to, if she can corner freeze this and lay 1, 2.
Perfect. So if yours is
It'll
all
be
there,
tough for
I
Jess
like
to
the
get
girls
them
to
out.
match.
If it's all there, I want to make sure I get to it. I can't chop off wide.
Okay.
Yeah, important for Rachel not to bounce off here.
Same as my first one, that 14 and a half. We're already shot, so we don't need to move.
Just a quick update on sheet A, a big 3 for Team Froud. They've taken a 7-4 lead over Harrison.
Line's good.
All there.
Okay. Line's really good. Whoa, whoa, wait only.
Line's great. Just top
The
four.
only
don't
thing
need
she
to
can't
tap.
do here is bounce off.
Right.
Stay
Just
close.
Joe.
She's
You wanna
really
freeze
close
here.
here.
Line's good. Make sure you're here. Yep. Looks really light.
It's really going hard now.
I come up just a little light.
You know, I suspect that Rachel's first rock is actually a smidge slower, because that's twice now where they've totally misjudged it, and it's kind of sort of curled off on a line that was a little bit unexpected.
Yeah, and it's not really like them to misjudge that.
Well, and that's why I think they're getting fooled a little
Yeah.
bit, is that I don't know, that's my opinion.
I mean, the line
I'm
was
here,
so
they're
good
there,
on that.
though.
True. Yeah, we're a long way from the action.
Almost thinking like if we played this.
But the line was really good on that, in that they were able to keep it out.
Lock it on, though.
Whereas Justin's kind of, it curled early and they had to really sweep the crap out of it just to keep it on line.
Well, it's interesting. Rachel's here, I think, probably one of the first times without having a coach either. And
I think
historically,
we might just have to guard.
a lot of what the coaches do is scouting of rocks and trying to find out what other teams are throwing what rocks and in what order and why they're throwing it too. You need to understand it, because players like Glenn Howard like to have, he likes to have a rock that moves and one that maybe is a little bit straighter.
Right.
But when you don't have that ability to scout rocks, then you don't have all the information. And you've just got to go on your pure, experience in practice.
Danielle Inglis steals a big 2 in the
A bit wider here.
8th end of their game and takes an 8-5 lead.
No. And you think it's not helping us? It's never going.
A little on Steph's side. I don't think I need to be aggressive out to the broom like this way. Do you agree? No? Okay. Okay.
Just throwing up a guard here?
Well,
Well, I think she was trying to block the path to make it difficult for them to get to, but
Yeah, they thought really like
I
exactly what they called. You don't have to go that much farther.
think Rachel, she's got a draw to, obviously she's got to bite the button to get a second point here. She's definitely got one already banked.
Man, oh man. Was it ever curl on my first one?
Oh, we have handshakes
Throw that
on
kind
sheet
of
C.
all on my own out of the hand, and that should be good.
Looks like Team
I thought
Ballston
so.
It's about what I threw.
Yeah, we had
are victorious
we
over
had
Team Brandwood.
3 broom heads less. 2 broom heads less than what Emma has up right now.
There's ran nice.
And that will be the end of the Scotties for both of those teams.
Rachel Homan's final stone here in the 8th end of play.
Line's really
Looking
good.
to get a piece of the button for a second point.
Whoa, stay with it. Looks heavy.
So she came up heavy with her
I
last
got
rock in the last end.
14-3 on it, and yep, she is heavy again. So that's going to be a single point for Rachel Homan here. She will have an 8-6 lead going into the 9th end.
So interesting, Ian, because she was heavy with that rock in the last end.
Yeah, 14-3, I think
Did I get all the way out?
going this way, I think that is definitely heavy.
So I'm just thinking, maybe her rocks aren't matched because she came up short with her first one and heavy with her second.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Well, now for Justin Murphy, the opportunity sort of presents itself. You make a choice at some point during this end whether you're going to try to blanket and maintain the hammer into the 10th end, or else if you're going to push hard for 3 here. So there's kind of a pivotal spot in the middle of this end where all of a sudden you've got to make that decision.
And hope that your shot making supports it.
Well, and just to some degree, and it'd be interesting whether Rachel goes straight to the rings here or throws it short. Like Lisa Weigel now has thrown the guard,
Split center hard.
so they're going to try to force the play to make sure she does not blanket this end.
Think I like that side.
okay.
Okay, then go this side. Line's good. Line's good. Hard then.
Sweeping hard for a 1 here.
Oh, Grace Holyoke is
Yep.
trying to get this into
We
play.
gotta
You
go.
don't want to hog
Hard,
this.
you gotta go, Janet. Go. Hard.
Double center.
Hard, Janet.
Oh,
Hard.
She's biting her nails. That's not a good sign.
Hogged it. Top 4.
That is very unfortunate because that, when you're trying to mount your comeback, you need every rock in play. Maybe this is where, a nice little pep talk from Janet here just to kind of keep her going.
Top 12 is fine.
Yeah, it's 5 rock rule. You still have a chance to throw a corner.
Ever.
4.
Lisa slips a little deep.
No, it's not. We don't want to fall. Yeah, corner.
Okay.
Looks like she thought about that for a second.
We could play this. We could play tick. Guys, can I just say something here?
Yeah.
We could play the tick.
4 is not so bad, eh?
Okay.
We don't want it.
Just putting it out there.
Okay.
Well, I think Janet's right here. Actually, you play the tick here, you get 2 corner guards out of it. I think it's a great call.
Good. Nice.
Line's
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Boy, they didn't even entertain it.
Line's good.
No.
Block off the center.
Hasn't curled yet. Curl. Curl first.
Don't want to yet.
Whoa. Not gonna be able to get around it.
Well, Grace not going to make the mistake twice. She gets this one into play.
Good girl.
But as
Top 12, top
Jess
8.
just said, it's going to be really difficult to get around that.
Yeah.
It's heavy. 9. Line's tight. Looks heavy. Yeah.
Well, Joanne Courtney now going to try to get this thing around top 8 foot fully buried.
Over curl.
She doesn't want to poke out the other side because then it will give
Coming down now.
Justin the opportunity to play the other turn and possibly make a double and roll behind her own corner.
And that's exactly what just happened.
Yeah.
Think this.
It's wide open.
10. You didn't play with 9? Yeah, 9's good.
Just changing the weight call a little bit.
Whoa.
Stephanie Matheson wants to make sure she hangs around here.
Curl a bit more. Get up, get up, get up, get
Get close. Make sure you hang around.
Heel.
This is the double and the roll.
Well,
Yeah.
my thinking is on that you just can't overthrow that. You've got to make sure you stay in the ring somewhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my Trump politics once again. You know, you got to get her obsessed with something over here while you're kind of doing this other stuff.
Where did you ever come up with that?
Oh, I use this to get with my coaching my guys because you know I'm trying to help them along.
I say we.
Create a
Or
distraction.
the hit and
Yeah.
double up.
I like it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Thankfully, though, otherwise we would have pocket.
Top 8.
Wide, quick stuff.
Yeah, no. We're picking.
Sure.
You're going to go in now? Or
Like T.
No, I think now they're going to try and tick the
Like
top
T-line?
one and get 2 corner guards out of it.
We need to get some movement.
Nice shot, Joe. Okay. We want to keep both, right?
Yep.
Back 8.
Back 8.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that's the type of ice, so like, you know, if she does miss the top one, hopefully she gets the back one.
right.
Clean.
Little light.
Clean. Clean.
We gotta go.
Clean. Yep. 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 Hard.
Go.
Hard.
Go.
Hard. Yep. Hard.
Good looking shot.
yep,
Could
yep,
she
get
roll
it.
it over far
Go,
enough?
go, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Little more.
Yeah, I think
Really
it's
good.
pretty
Huh.
good.
Stuff.
That's a great shot by
Yes. Well, she's taken away the path to the button on both sides.
Good shot.
yeah, possibly, yes.
Oops.
Could
Unless
go
they
here.
don't put the guard on correctly and she can get around with sort of
You like
some
that?
aggressive weight.
Okay.
Right.
Would you rather just throw a corner?
Really good.
No, I like that better.
They make the double and roll, then we're
Well, the other thing Rachel can do here is
Half buried.
you peel the corner guard.
Is it gonna curl that much, Reach?
She goes around this one.
Just want to be half
You know,
open.
so it depends on
Yeah.
what your end goal
Okay.
is. Do
Right.
you want to be tied up coming
You
home
know,
with the
there's also
hammer?
a
Is that
double
is that a
peel.
perfect scenario for her?
It's up to you.
Get out your handy little notes here.
Take a run at
Do
it.
we want them to blind?
I mean, this one's probably the more dangerous one. We just rip this so high. Yeah.
You know,
Okay,
Rachel
like
Homan
ice, anything?
tied
Yeah,
with the
like that.
hammer.
So here? Yeah.
She's 14-1 with the hammer in the last end. This season she's 1-1. Justin Murphy, tied without the hammer, is 1-3.
Even if you're just top 12, it's fine.
Once again, thank you to our friends at Curling Zone and Jerry Gertz for providing us with stats. It's always interesting to kind of hear what's going on with some of the teams and knowing what they've done. So big thank you to Jerry.
Line's good.
Well, now for Rachel, for Janet here,
You got lots of
trying to
line.
get around
Curl
the corner
first.
guard.
There it
Curl
goes.
first.
You know,
There it's
all she needs
starting.
now is maybe a half
Starting
miss
to
out of
curl. Curl
out of
first still.
Homan, and it may generate a 3-ender.
When you can. 14-2. Yep, you gotta go. Hard. Keep it going.
Just takes
Yep.
forever for it to
Double ferret. Yep.
curl on this spot.
That was right here. Hey,
Well, and she's got it buried like it's perfect
draw.
because now
Yeah, that's
you know,
right. 14.
like to me, she's 14-1. Why wouldn't you peel the corner guard and say, okay, you know, the most I'm gonna let you have is 2.
2.
You know, the other question is if the N were to be blanked.
Wait only.
She's
You know,
up 2 without.
Justin Murphy down
Just has to
2
be
with
here.
the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
She's 1-4
Hard, Lise.
playing the last
Yes,
end.
Lisa.
And what's Rachel
Both you go.
up 2 without?
Joe, take it.
Rachel
Joe, take
up
it. Hard.
to she's 10-6, so 62%. So
Top team.
for me, looking at these stats,
Moving
Rachel
it wrong,
Homan
That's okay.
would have been better to peel that guard and let her have her 2 points.
Well, 60% is nothing to sneeze at either,
But
though.
now you make a great shot like that.
Yeah.
Line's good.
So much for
Line's
stats,
real
right?
good.
Line's good.
Pull if you can.
But it also comes down to odds, though, too, right? And risk. So Rachel
Line's You gotta
up
go.
1 with the hammer is
Hard. Yep, you gotta go a little more. Yeah.
she's 17-2. I think she's still better to be tied with.
Well, she's shot right now. Oh, she's actually sitting 2.
Well, unfortunately for Janet, now that she's short, this is
Fully.
it has almost killed the end. She's going to have to try to find a way to get a single point.
I'm facing the other direction.
I know.
Out here.
Danielle just made another fantastic shot.
She's a one-man wrecking crew.
We're all tied up on sheet A. Harrison got a big 3 in the 8th end. So Team Frau, Team Harrison tied at 7.
Yeah.
About that speed here.
Rachel now going to, I'm assuming, throw this right on center line, kind
Go
of
ahead then.
top 8-ish.
It's running. It's running.
They were like, throw a couple feet left.
Okay, got room.
You know what I mean? Like, it just.
No,
No,
just
keep
go.
going.
It's over
Line's
line.
great.
Line's really good.
Weight's really coming off of it, though.
Okay, whoa.
Yep, finish. Yep. Yep.
Okay, that's okay, Rach.
Don't think that might.
Okay.
Try and go.
Compared to my one sailing through the house. What? We have to be dead buried. Okay.
Well, I'm just thinking.
I would agree.
Pretty sure that was not the intended call.
Yeah.
No, I think she definitely wanted that in to be almost at least top 12 or something. Even if she ran it back and made the double. Right now, Justin Murphy's got, she doesn't have any angle.
Way wide? Okay.
I guess
Even if we do this.
I'd be tempted to try to throw the out-turn tap straight back, and if you could ever throw her hard enough and
I think all the way
make the
through.
tap and release those two, you know, you still bring in a possible big end.
You mean tap that yellow in the top 12?
Yeah, tap the yellow in the top 12, straight back onto the Homan stone, and release the two at the back.
All right. This is not an easy call. What they're doing here is drawing around the one Rachel just put there. This is not easy.
I think this is minimum
Well,
ice.
and the way we know it's curling hard in here, this may just come back out the other side.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, I wasn't gonna yell that. It's okay.
T-line.
Is that rock pretty easy to do? Yeah, I know. It blocks. Okay.
Yeah.
So looks like they're going to shake here over on sheet D. So Danielle Inglis wins this game and finishes in second place.
Wait for
Line's good.
T-line.
don't know how far apart the rocks are.
Line's really good. Yep.
You gotta go, guys.
She's got to go here. She's a little shy of weight.
Straight. Hard. Hard.
Really close.
Hard. Try and
Shoot, perfect line too.
Not sure why the
Yeah,
other
that was
sweeper
perfect.
dropped off there.
I don't know what that was.
I'll go down there.
Out turn. I think the same thing I just threw. Yeah.
I think now you will see Rachel just plug the hole, so there is no path on the in-turn side. She will probably have to play the same out-turn draw she just threw.
Just wait.
Center.
great line, Jess.
Curl too much.
Well, I mean, if you'd had a smidge more weight.
This is the inner
Would
line.
have curled too much still. No, you're right. You're right.
If I touch that 6, it's pretty good too. Yeah.
Anyway, we're still looking.
So Duncan's record slips to 5 and 3.
Ground.
Easy.
Easy early.
That one's
Well,
really
we gotta
clear.
curl a lot. It's gotta curl a lot.
And
Gotta
if
cross
Murphy
center here.
loses this game, she'll also be at 5 and 3.
Whoa, 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 we're good, we're good. It's curling. Easy, easy. It's going side. It's a good spot, Rach. Really good.
Wow, that's a perfect guard by Rachel Homan.
Yeah.
Now for Jess Murphy here, she's going to have to get this thing wound in and get half of the forefoot to get a single point to push this game on to the 10th end.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we will have handshakes here too, I believe.
I think almost this
Yes,
wide
because
so
Homan's
like
sitting
6
2
feet
right
long.
now, and I don't think that they'll
We
play
need
the
the line
10th
to
if
be higher
Homan is
than
up
or
4
whatever
points.
the center is.
What's that rock that I just threw?
Okay, great.
Excellent.
Okay, so did she get something on my last one? I don't even remember.
Exactly the same zone.
Okay. Split T-line.
So T-line here, trying to get as much as a forefoot as she possibly can.
13 and a half.
Line's good.
Right on the tee. You're wide. You're nice and wide.
Starting to curl.
Never curl though, I
You gotta
don't
see
think.
for
I
T-line.
think they better clean this. I don't want to
Okay,
lose
There it
line.
goes.
There it goes.
One sideways now.
Whoa. T-line.
Good looking
13-7,
shot
so a
coming
bit
here.
more curl. Whoa, whoa. Curl in there, baby. Great shot, Jess.
Wow.
That's a hell of a shot right here by
Oh.
Jess. A single point here for Justin Murphy in the 9th end gives her, she will trail 8-7 going into the 10th end of play.
Easy peasy.
Can kind of see from our replay here that as it came in, just
They didn't even sweep that, Ian. It was
perfect weight. Well, that's skipper unassisted.
Like to, but
Give us 2 if you want. Oh, please.
Well, you wouldn't have thought after Rachel Homan jumped out to a 4-0 lead that we would be still playing
it was even
into the 10th end.
it was 7-2 at one point.
Yep.
There's no quit in this Murphy team.
Well, they've shown great resilience here, and they just keep coming. They won't go away.
No, sir, it's the other way.
Okay, so I was throwing 3-4, and that was my second shot, right?
Janet making sure that the scoreboard operators have got the score correct.
Line's great.
After that brilliant effort by her
Line's good.
daughter, I don't blame her.
Running still. Your line's good. Your line's running still.
Well, we will see Elisa Weigel here, I'm sure, going back to work again.
Yep.
Grace Holyoke puts up a center guard perfectly.
Yep.
Really nice control there.
What are you
We have
throwing?
2 timeouts though, right?
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Gotta go. Hard. Hard.
Hold it. Hold it. You're doing
Hard, Joe.
push.
Hard.
Trying to tick this off, Lisa Weigel. She's closer, might be. Can she get it all the way through?
Oh my goodness. Right to the back corner.
Aaron a bit more.
Well,
She's like, you should have the
Great sweep, Justin.
that is perfect.
You almost were at a loss for words there.
Yeah.
I think just a little more weight too. Yeah. Your next
Well, if she taps it through, the rock gets
tighter.
replaced, and then there's going to be a double center guard.
Sure was pumping it out and it didn't come close.
Well then. Well then.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Much
Nice.
better line on this one. Pretty
Well,
good
we'll
spot.
see. We'll see if Lisa Weigel can make this 2 for 2.
I'm getting that out.
Huh? More?
Let's see if it
How?
stops
Can't.
in range, you know what I mean?
I suppose.
It's close. Coming down. Wait only.
Gotta
go wait. Yeah, then.
This one's going in range.
Almost like picked. Yeah.
Just leave it.
Every time.
Yeah, that rock for Lisa Weigel, you can just tell it's a bit of a cutter, and really difficult to make that shot with that stone. You know, she's got to play quite a bit more weight with
Yeah.
it.
I think it's consistently over curled for her.
It's like half a rock. Like,
Line's good. Halfway. Higher. Easy, 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 easy.
Fire.
Halfway. High. That's good. The line's good.
Good one.
Come over a little more.
Very good.
We're going to see the peeling machine
Sorry?
start up again here.
Well, by going, yeah, oh, definitely. She might almost be able to get all of them right here.
Huh? I know, we have 2 timeouts.
Bumpers.
So we're
She's throwing the out turn. Look where the broom is.
Playing the big stuff.
just the peel's fine.
What are we supposed to do? How are we
Joanne Courtney going to pump up the volume here and try to
Oh.
run this through.
Yep. Hard him. Hard. Hard.
Oh dear. Kicks it over to the center. Well, the fact that Jess is laying 1 right now, I would be tempted to get this one onto the 4-foot. Because by throwing a second center guard,
Line's
you
good.
just give them another opportunity
One's better.
to make the double peel.
One's better.
You know?
Yeah.
Curling nice. Whoa. It's really good.
Yeah.
1.5.
Very nice stuff.
Good one. Good.
Yeah.
Can you see enough of this blue? You guys like that? Okay.
Well, Steph Matheson gets the long guard up.
Yep.
Rachel's not as concerned with the long guard, but her tight blue stone she is concerned with, so she's going to try to get Joanne to get rid of the tight blue and possibly even tick her other one on the way by.
What about if it goes sideways into that one in the rings too?
Well, if she can get that as well, like she's Oh, just a little too thick.
I think we still
too
do that,
thin.
though. Yeah.
No, not in, I don't think.
I know.
Still just a 3.
Yeah.
Okay, enter. Yeah. Line's good. Hold it out a hair.
Just looking
Gotta
to put
go.
up a 3 here.
Well, Janet Murphy, she wants it just directly in line with the other long center guard, hopefully a lot tighter.
Hard.
Keep it going, keep it going, keep it
Gotta
going.
go on this.
No, 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 no. Not that.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Okay.
We can hold this. Straight through. 3/4 high.
Looking to make them both go here.
Wow, that's unfortunate. That's terrible. So that's
Hard,
she's going to get a chance to make the double here, move everything out of there, and Janet's going to be faced with starting again.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, okay. Just letting you know.
In front of their blue-ish. Yep, yep.
Well, I'm almost of the mindset I would go around this corner
Sit
guard.
2, yeah.
Good.
She could be on the edge of the 4-foot.
She's gonna peel it, and then you can keep guarding it, and now it's your guard there as well next,
It's really
rather
curving
than
towards
hers.
that blue.
Whoa. Whoa.
The 1's mine, right?
And picking.
Okay, good.
Rachel has the 8.
Okay. Where do you want that?
Whatever you like.
I mean, to make the double. Yeah.
Make her look at the loss, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really care. Whatever you like better. It's up to you.
You pick it. No, you pick it.
Yeah.
I don't know why that person didn't carry
I think to me, like, it's you know, she could play this, but if she ever jammed it, hit it thick, and then both the stones rolled towards center, they should be sick. So this is probably a smarter shot. Get rid of the other Justin Murphy rock if you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Hard. Hard.
Pretty thin, so.
Oh.
Oh, I just missed that. And almost jammed it on the back as well.
Yeah.
So.
It only goes straight in the center line area.
Yeah, so
They're going to go around now.
you can go there. She's gonna run
Actually
it.
curled.
I think they should try and make it better than
But if you're
that.
like
Better than the
6
8-foot.
inches closer to the center, it falls out.
What do you, did you call a timeout?
If they make it better,
Yeah.
then guard a better rock. So timeout. Let's listen in and see what they're going to say.
We go here. Yeah, we go here. And then she feels and runs and we go kind of in front of it. Oh,
You know, it'll be nervous times for Rachel here. You know, if she gets one buried here,
Well, if we leave her with a draw.
and then Rachel misses the run back, and then she does
Do we
throw
wanna
it
hang
top
a piece
4
out?
or something, or just
Yeah.
gets them askew. Obviously,
I didn't mind either one.
Rachel wants a hit
Okay,
with her
so
last
let's be dead
rock,
buried.
right?
Okay.
okay.
And
Fine,
and I
like
think
mine's coming.
you would rather have
Yeah. Yeah. I think with
you
my
want
throw,
Rachel throwing that in turn draw like she's been
It'll
heavy the
run
last 2 times.
a bit longer.
With her last, yes. Yeah.
Right there.
I like her. I think you did something.
Because we came to here.
And
with
she's going
that
to have that in
much.
her head,
Yeah.
that she's been heavy with her
Full
last 2
inside the
times she's
8-foot?
thrown her last
Yeah.
rock.
Correct.
Like it.
You know, for Rachel here,
This seems to just
if she
warp
gets
over
this
there.
half buried or something,
think-
she will
so
chase
we're on
it
the edge of
and
the 8. I don't like
she'll
taking
hopefully
into
be
the
shot
8-foot.
stone after if she chases it and gets it out of the rings and hangs around. And then Jess, you know, if she rolls to the 4-foot, and then Jess will be forced to play her, and then it could be an open hit against 2 for their last.
Yeah,
But
I
if
think
Jess gets this buried, then, you know, Rachel's going to play the straight run back.
I heard Jess say, let's make her look at the loss. So sit 2 so that she's looking at the loss.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
curl first, I think.
Not curling yet. Okay, okay, that's not terrible. It's wide open, 13-8.
If you sweep, you can get edge to edge.
Yep, yep.
Yep. Hard.
If they keep going, it's starting to go in there.
Back 4.
Yeah. Good sweeping, guys.
Going over curl, even if you're right beside it on the inside.
I was.
Well, here's the good practice draw for Rachel. Anyway, she's got backing. She can
there.
come down and freeze to it.
Good, 13-8.
Okay, that's what we thought.
I think that's a bit of a change in the ice, wouldn't you say? 13-8 is only back 4. No sweeping.
Well, I think it's probably 14.5 is probably the button weight with sweeping.
Sorry?
Line's good.
Wiggle and
Gotta go, gotta go. Gotta go.
Courtney going hard on this, trying to get it there. In comes Emma, trying to get it in, at least get it in for second shot.
Hard, push.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay.
Wow, that is a bad time to come short. This
Did you
is
call the timeout again? Okay, let's start again.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we leave her the whole half of the 4 foot. We can
Yeah.
hang it open a bit.
Like, open and
She'll try and play the double.
no, she won't.
I think she's better served here, actually, going right into the top of the button, show her half of the stone, or even just top of
I
the
think
4
that's the
foot.
right spot.
Force her to make that draw wide. That's because that's the shot she's gonna have to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the broom,
The broom was here for that.
I like that.
Yeah. Don't put that.
No, yeah, I liked that spot.
If she's just top 4 open, I
And you got a
still don't think
13-8 on
Rachel will hit it.
Yeah.
She's going to have
So
to draw.
14-4?
I don't
What?
think she needs to
14-2?
tuck any of this
14-2,
under
yeah.
cover.
Well, I think you want half of it underneath cover.
You
Because
think?
yeah, if it's wide open, she'll probably hit it. She might even hit it and try to nose it and say, "Fine, let's go to the extra end. I've got the hammer," right?
Yeah. So we got a 13-8 on my first one. Yeah, okay. That's my...
Final stone in the 10th end
And leave it top 8 is okay.
for Justin Murphy.
Yeah.
Okay, line's good.
Line's good.
Line's real good.
Room?
Trying to
Feel
get
that
this
room. Starting to curl. Whoa,
tucked
whoa,
around a little
whoa.
bit.
Got room. Yeah, you can go now. Okay.
Whoa.
6.
You're wide
Okay,
open.
Whoa, whoa.
You're wide
Gotta
open.
curl. Curl it, Steph. Curl. A little more. A little more.
Yep, go, 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 go.
Good job.
That's a great shot. Well,
Okay, good spot.
for Rachel Homan here,
Yeah. This was that line that went all the way around.
Drawing
Okay,
against
come
3.
close to the center. Yeah, we need a little wider. It's a good line.
I
Gotta go almost side 4.
think she needs to. She might even need more ice than that, but needing a good piece of the 4 foot to win this game, remain undefeated. She's already going directly through to the finals.
That last one she threw was
Keep her record unblemished.
If Murphy wins this game, Duncan is out, and they haven't left the ice surface yet. They're sitting here watching this.
Last stone here for Rachel Homan in the 10th end to win this game.
Line's
really
good.
They seem to like it out of her hand.
Line's
A little
good.
bit of
Super
dusting.
Whoa. Line's great.
Whoa. Looks okay.
It's curling.
They're going to have to make a choice here. Is it going to dig in enough?
Great shot.
Will it
great
dig in
shot.
enough?
Look at that.
Look at that. Great draw for a single point for Rachel Homan to win this game by a score of 9-7. Wow, that was definitely exciting, Barb.
Sets up a tiebreaker, Ian. Duncan and Murphy will end up with the same record, and Inglis is alone in second place.
So Rachel Homan will go directly through to the final Saturday night at 8 p.m. Second place will be Danielle Inglis. She will await the winner of the tiebreak game between Holly Nickel.
Holly Duncan?
Holly Duncan Nickel. And Justin Murphy. So that game will be tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So
You
we
can
will-
follow along on the Curl On. They'll be updating the scores.
Yes, we will not be covering that game on Title Sports Live. We will have a full update at the beginning of our game this evening at 8 p.m., which will be between Patrick Ferris and Scott McDonald, and that will be at 8 p.m. or 7:45. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you back here shortly. On behalf of Curl On and Title Sports Live, thank you for tuning in.